Straight from downtown Burbank, California.
We've got good nonsense coming from the Old Humble Distilling Company. Actually, I think we may be the only ones watching right now. I got to make sure my feed is up proper. Yep, I got audio.
It takes a few minutes for people to jump on.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, it is the 100th and final, with an asterisk, episode of the Old Humble Distilling Company's Quarantine Cocktail Happy Hour. How the hell are you tonight? We're starting early. It's 8:30. We're starting early because it is a great time. But I'm going to go quickly now and thank my friends over at the Cabin Fever live stream network for hosting us now since March of last year. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. That is a collective of artists. If you're on Twitch, you need to follow them. Twitch.tv/Cabin Fever live stream. No spaces. Great folks. Everybody here in the YouTubes who have followed me, thank you so much. We have gone from like 25 followers to 430-something followers. Thank you, guys. It would be great if we could get up over 500. If we get to 1,000 by the end of next week, I'm going to go fight a kangaroo. Live. I'll record it, and I will fight a goddamn kangaroo, and it's going to be awesome. And then everybody over on the Facebooks, cheers to you. Thank you for joining us and getting on the show. Walter, cheers to you. Here is our opening shot. But you know what? To bring on our opening shot, I'm going to bring on one of our first and longest running guests, most frequent guests on the show, in fact, our favorite weirdo. Jeff with a G, my man. Cheers and salutations. Thank you for taking over the show last week and keeping those photos to yourself. Cheers.
Time is still soon, man. You never know.
Keeping them to yourself for now.
My liquor cabinet's very light right now, so who knows what I have there.
We'll take care of that tomorrow. I got you back, brother. But you,
sure.
Speaking of Twitch and Cabin Fever live stream, you were one of the first people to come on our show. One of the first shows that I was on. We kind of cross-pollinated. You were there for me to bounce ideas off of in the early days when this was mostly cocktails and travel. Reminiscing about my tales on the road and places that I've gone and things that I've done.
Yes, your quote-unquote tales on the road. Yes.
Yeah, most of them are. A few of them are true.
Just not to you.
We actually went to most of the places that I talked about.
All right.
So we got Lone Star in, we got Walter in. Cheers to everybody out there. You're Twitch famous. You've got your Carney show. You've got your Gaffing the Truth. You've got your. Will you tell us what you've got?
All right, so Gaffing the Truth is actually the channel I now run. I used to be on Cabin Fever live stream, and now I kind of grew up and have my own thing, which is cool. So I like that. But on that channel, I have things like Gaffing the Truth. It's myself and Scabs the Clown, where we talk about conspiracies, cryptids, and weird shit. In fact, just the other night, we had a good friend of ours by the name of Phil Screamer, where we talked about weird internet conspiracies, but not like the QAnon bullshit. I mean, like weird things. Like truly weird stuff. So it's like
legit well, I don't want to say legit nonsense. Legit mysteries.
Yeah, so like really so more not interesting
made up stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's still bullshit made up stuff, but it makes more it's still more compelling. Things like like there's an old MMO that has a cult in it, that sort of stuff, shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like that. So that's usually that, and then usually I show a movie after that. And on Wednesdays, I bring on and have have a show called Planet Lisdom, which is a friend of mine, Lisdom, up from Canada. America's hat. They have their show. She has her show, which is really great, where she talks to a lot of really cool Canadian artists. And I had a chance to be on her show, which is how it ended up being. And then after that, I do the Devil's Hour, which is my weekly foray into the weird, the wild, and the wonderful.
Yeah.
And then Thursdays, I'm currently doing stuff now. So
okay. Well,
but yeah,
that's a benefit. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm trying to wind this down, is because my guests have stuff to do on Thursdays, which is good. Luckily, I pre-taped, so I'm able to do this and that at the same times. Cheers. Thank you, Lone Star Beer. Your thank you note, your stapled thank you note got rave reviews in the post-show follow-ups over the last week that I've done.
Oh, really? Yeah. Unfortunately, I packed my staple gun, so I can't do staples, but I do have other tricks I can do.
That's right, because you're on your way to Coney Island.
That's right. I'm moving to New York City, Coney Island. In fact, I leave tomorrow.
You are migrating back to the homeland from where all carnies come from.
Kinda, yeah. And really what you're seeing behind me is usually this is my backdrop. Usually this is real normally, but this is actually a screen. So I can do things like this and woo.
Nice.
But I didn't want you guys to look at my bare walls and the messy shit. So I figured, all right, cool. I'll take a picture of my what I normally talk with and do that sort of stuff. But because it's your 100th show, I know everybody's doing stuff like that. So I figured I would do some fun stuff, and I did bring some stuff like that. Now you stuff your face with hot dogs before. Right. That's true, I could.
In fact, our guest from the 98th episode will be there. Katie from Seattle will be in Coney Island doing the hot dog stuff in Nathan's hot dog eating contest. Yeah.
I'll be there because that's where I'll be living there. So anyways, so yeah, sure. So what I figured I'd do before I get out of here, let you talk with all the more famous people than me. This is the low point, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not.
Dude, you're the first. This is awesome.
And I might pop back on later. Who knows? First off, let's do some fun stuff. So this is a mousetrap. It is a live mousetrap. It has nice tingling stuff like that. So let's do a couple of things real quick. I usually do my ears, but I have my headphones on, so I'm not going to do that because that would be really loud for you guys. But I can do things like this.
Oh my!
So right there on the eyebrow, 3, 2, 1. That's lovely. But I also, and it's real. But I also want to toast your success for 100 episodes.
I'm going to get sloppy drunk tonight. But I'll toast to that.
Uh-huh.
Cheers. Good Lord. Man alive. Good Lord. Now, fun fact, for the longest time, I had a mousetrap here on my desk during this show, and periodically I'd have it armed, but I never, during the entire 100 show run, had the guts to actually snap that thing on my hand on purpose.
You throw at least your hand, that should be okay.
I've done it by accident a couple of times.
At least you should at least do your hand.
And I don't know where it's at now. Otherwise, I would try it, but I'll find it later on during the show and probably do it.
Yeah,
but we have our 99th episode next week. Maybe I'll do it during the 99th episode.
There you go. You can do that, yeah.
If we get our 500 subscribers, I'll snap it on my hand during the 99th episode. And the 99th episode is the show where we are giving away this bottle of whiskey. Has the silver star on it. And you can see we've done stuff to this bottle of whiskey.
I see that, yeah.
That's pretty. It's nice and it's mysterious. We will unveil that later on this week. So there you go. All right, my man. Well, my next guest is in the green room.
All right.
our musical guest later on the show is Ryan Adam Wells. He
I
is
love
checking
Ryan.
in right now to see what time he should check in with us.
I love Ryan.
He is a
Good
great
friend.
guy.
I'm going to make sure I'm going to be watching the show the
Dig
entire
it.
time. So
Appreciate it, brother. And
yeah,
what's really exciting about this kind of a preview of shows to come, because once we reorganize what we're doing and move everything to the distillery and get the tasting room open, we're going to be basically doing good nonsense for 20 or 30 minutes, have a quick little interview, and then kick it over to a band. So
there
we'll
you
have a
go. It's
live
a good way to
performance
go.
of the show. So
Yeah,
there you go.
sounds fun.
My man, thank you so much for all your
Yeah,
help
man.
during this 100 show run. Thank you for supporting us. And man, good luck in New York. This is going to be awesome.
Thanks. Yeah. Follow me on all the socials. You can follow me on all the things like Carney Show's available and all the social media stuff. Yeah. Go to twitch.tv/Carney Show. Follow the channel over there so you can watch all my crazy nonsense that I do over there and see and I'm the least weird thing that's on that channel.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep.
So,
but the Instagram feed is the really good feed to follow you, because that's where you do all the show updates there, and the visuals and all the stuff is real pretty to watch.
Yeah,
so
thanks.
Go find them on the Instagrams, Carney Show.
Yeah,
and that's a good follow right there.
No worries, man.
All right, brother.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you much. Talk to you later, my man.
All right.
Zip. Boop. Remove. Jeff there. Slade Ham. International man of mystery. Comedic genius. You've done Jesus. You were one of my early guests.
When was I on? I don't remember.
I don't remember what episode it was, but I think it was almost a year ago. Because I think it was in June of last year. It might have been July of last year.
So we were deep into the quarantine and pandemic stuff.
Yeah, you were super bored. Okay. And you were like, I'll do this idiot show.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. I'm trying to, it's weird. You can look back at podcasts I've said yes to and track my growth like tree rings. You can tell exactly where I was in my state of boredom. Oh shit, I did that show? Yeah.
That is accurate and fair. Absolutely.
I miss you, man. I made myself an old fashioned. I'm deep I'm into the special reserve. I've got it.
I have my signature cocktail that I'm going to have later tonight, waiting right here next to me. I'm going to dig into that one in a little bit.
There's no rush. You got.
But right now, I know I've got like 3 hours of the show. So you've done comedy on like 19 continents, 300 and something planets, 20 or 30 different countries,
and a cruise ship.
And a cruise ship, right? You've done. I mean, you've been in comedy for 25 years now? Is that right?
It was 21 in April. So
okay, I thought it was the mid 90s, so it's the late 90s.
I got started. I sort of came in at the end of 99, but it wasn't until April of 2000 that I went on stage. But it's been 20 straight years, and I forget now. I used to think I've only been doing this for 10, Joe, and I think that everything is only 10 years ago. And the reality is there's generations of comics that have come since I started. I'm not 1 degree separated from a class. I'm Professor X in the back of the room, and there's kids accidentally lighting their friends on fire in the corner. And I'm old, man. I've settled into it. I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I get that. But you've got the award-winning we'll call it an award-winning podcast.
It's one awards.
It's one. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Made of crystal.
I mean, my whiskey is certified breakfast whiskey from the American Breakfast Whiskey Association.
So there you go. People get all caught up in this award-winning semantics, man.
Yeah, I invented the Breakfast Whiskey Association.
So that's all that matters. It's and the entire association's minutes lie in a shoebox under your bed, and who cares?
Yeah. I got tired of people saying, "Well, it's too early for whiskey." I'm like, "Well, it's a breakfast whiskey. How do you know?" Well, it's because the Association of Breakfast Whiskeys say it is.
Also, how do you know that we're not still up from engaging conversation the night before?
It's never too early if you don't stop.
To the American Breakfast Association. What did you?
Yeah, the American Breakfast Whiskey Association.
American Breakfast Whiskey Association.
Yep. I'm the president.
Made up associations and also the only member. But
there is a Texas association, and there's a president and a secretary who aren't me.
Good ideas spread. Look
I
at
don't
me.
know who they are. They were
You're
just
like,
like next. They were in the booth next to me at
all that
the
matters.
convention. I'm like, you and you.
You're like Ted for drunks. It's perfect. Good ideas that spread.
Something like that. Yeah. But you're not just. I mean, I'm not kidding people when I say like world traveler. Slade here. You've got you, you don't just travel for whiskey or for comedy rather. You don't just travel for comedy, you travel for fun, and you've got your YouTube channel, Slade Runner. YouTube, that's in the description of the video. Go look it up. Your YouTube channel shows your travels and all the stuff, all the places you've been, and all the cool stuff that you do as you practice your editing.
People, that's all that was. That was an exercise in picking up another skill set. But what I realized in the process was that when you go places like that with people, an obnoxious amount of footage gets captured, and you sit down and you sort of revisit it with not the eye that you went there with. Because I don't like getting lost in the, oh, we got to snap this, we got to get this, we got to get this picture. You lose the experience of being there. And as cliche as all that sounds,
That's
I
true.
do like coming back and processing after the fact, a year later. Oh, let's just see what this looked like where I didn't know it was being filmed, where this guy was behind me with the camera. Let's see if we can remember the story of that day. And that's the fun part for me, to kind of go back and retell. It's like there's all these weird adventures captured in pieces, and then I got to fill in the blank and try and share it with an audience in a way that makes them also want to go to that place and have an adventure.
Well, there you go. And that's actually one of the things that I hate most. That's why I like live stuff. And I hate I hate going back. I just don't like going back and editing shows
Right.
because watching them a second time, like I've already seen this like
Well,
15
but you
times,
have
20
to,
times in some cases. I don't want to
you
edit
got to
it
give
anymore.
yourself, there's the nature of the beast artistically is that we have to look at that stuff. Otherwise, stuff doesn't get better.
Yeah,
So
true.
you can, it would be like you saying, I hate tasting this whiskey. It's, right? At
I
some
know.
point,
Yeah.
your
I was
job
thinking
is
the
to
same
go in
thing. Yeah.
there and pop the lid off and taste the whiskey. And
Mhm.
if that's not your thing, then you're like, for, if someone doesn't like tasting whiskey in all those stages, maybe they shouldn't be doing that. For
Yeah.
me, there's something really cool to, like, even the export process on a video, right? The one we just put up takes a run through the Mediterranean, and it's literally cobbled together from B-roll and other footage that didn't make it into another production, right? So
Mhm.
I sat down with all of this, and you do a first pass where you cobble the rough parts together, and then you hit export, and it comes out. You have this weird thing where the audio doesn't match, and the video jams up against it, and it's none of the clips are the right length, and this goes over here, and all this. And then I get to take it. I'll take a day, and I'll just come back the next day, and I'll look at that with a different. I'll just do a totally different pass, tightening up and squeezing and moving and things. And it's the same process that happens with writing, like the book or anything else. There's usually about 4 real runs through it, right? Maybe more, but I don't think you can do it in less than 4. And there's an author, John McPhee, and if you've never read him, he's worth reading. He has an essay called Draft Number 4 that I
Okay.
think ran in the New Yorker. And he talks. Well, it's funny. This came up earlier today or in a conversation, so it's sort of fresh in my head.
Did y'all hear that? Slade just casually dropped a reference to the New Yorker. Carry on.
Well, no. So I don't read the New Yorker. I don't read the New Yorker. I actually don't know him from the New Yorker. I always qualify him by saying the New Yorker because I feel like that's the only other place people would know him from.
All right.
He is
Fair enough.
not to be confused with the John McAfee who was killed in prison or what. I mean, sorry, died in whatever.
His antivirus security program did not work as well as
the firewall at least
didn't work in real life.
We could write bad jokes about this. Anyway,
I could write bad jokes all day long.
I think there's something enjoyable to the process of it is the exact same thing you do with distilling, where you run it through and then you test it to make sure it's where you think it should be, and then you run it back through, and then ultimately there's a part where you go, it's done. And that's I think whatever you're into, you got to be in love with that process. And that's if you don't like doing it in editing bay, that's
and I told you way back when we first met that was one of the things that I found most fascinating about y'all's process when you're on your podcast and you end up talking craft is
Yeah.
the iteration process of figuring it out and getting it right. And there's
It's
a craft and there's an art, but there's also a formula to it, but there's
there
an
is
art to the formula.
well, that's the anybody can build a boat, right? It's the how you decorate that and how it's
Oh yeah.
streamlined and how what the figurehead is and the sails and all of those things are the art to comedy. I think it's fun because I like watching the wheels turn amongst, at any given time, there's four really professionals on the show. So when you're watching a ball get smacked back and forth, you can, like, I can physically see the pauses and the gears moving in somebody else. And you can see the aha moments, but you also get to see the error in the trial and error, which
Mhm.
is where something gets, tossed out there out of reflex or whatever else. And you go, oh God, how did I say, oh, that shouldn't have been. But that's how we get
Yeah.
to the really great is tossing out the also not great.
And the whole room is silent there for a second, and then y'all shit on him.
It, I mean, usually, but there's also a level of respect. Sometimes,
Oh
man,
yeah,
I get
absolutely.
such a free pass now, where years ago I would be the first person to jump on somebody who made a foible like that, where you know what, you walked out on the ledge and it crumbled underneath you, and I would giggle. Now that's like the only stuff I celebrate. I'd rather laugh at the dude safely sitting on the ledge with his legs crossed than this dude who's,
Yeah.
yes, plummeting to his death in a violent, bloody pulp at the bottom of the mountain. But good job, little buddy, on
Yeah.
the way down.
And
That's all.
that's a legit risk. You go out there and I mean, there's people you could lose your entire career by going out there and jumping off the damn cliff. But a lot of people, if they're really good at what they do, they get better
It,
and figure out how to build that parachute on the way down to the sidewalk.
you do, and you also, there's a when you've not just dove to your death every time you've tried. Like some people are just constantly, everything they do is a swing and an egregious intentional miss,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah, yeah.
how, and I don't understand. I think if you endeavor to do good, if your comedy or your art comes from a place of good to begin with, that even when they do come for you, that, and I've had even little micro instances of that where the rest of the community that you serve will sort of police for you, and they go, you know
Mhm.
what, this is, maybe you're out of line here,
Yeah.
maybe this isn't the guy you should be going after. That's my hope, is
Yeah,
that,
yeah, right.
we're probably all going to get Twitter crucified. And
Now, Lone Star just he mentions that he really likes the comedy shows where the comic goes after people.
do
Uh,
you,
go
okay, so
We'll
here's
call people out, and make them feel like crap for a minute, and then laugh. But dude, at
ah,
your
okay,
last show, you made a lady cry.
yeah, okay, so let's talk about this,
Real quick.
because because in Lone Star Beer, yeah, I don't agree with you. I think you like it when it's not you and your girlfriend. You know what I mean? Nobody likes it when it's them. Everybody likes it when it happens to somebody else. And the reality is, I just don't want to fuck up someone's night. It's not, you really have to earn it for me to turn my guns all the way at you. That lady the other night was the end result of 5 comics worth of
Yep.
interjection. And it wasn't the one that had been loud, wasn't even the one I had to handle. I go, oh my God, this whole table is just talkative. And I turn around, and the lady who has said nothing all night has 2 fingers up in the air. And I go, I'm sorry, what? And she goes,
You
I didn't say anything. Why are
nuked
you
the
mad at
table.
me? And I just go, it was, Joe, it was so far beyond my ability to comprehend.
I
Like
know
you
it.
just chalk it up to,
Dude,
some of y'all haven't been out in a while.
when Jerry was up, the when he went the first act of the night, this was a full stage, 5 guys. When Jerry was up, I looked at my lovely wife and I said, she's getting kicked out.
I
She's not
mean,
gonna make it to the end.
you've been to enough comedy shows to know,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I don't like interaction unless it is my decision and
Right.
led. It's
It's on
a
your
so
terms. Yeah.
in picking on someone in the show doesn't, it ruins their night to the benefit of everybody else in the room, maybe, if you're into that punch and down thing. but I don't know that that's unless you're just a DL Hughley or a Don Rickles type, where that's what you come for. But other than that, man, we got jokes to tell. The last thing we want to do is make fun of your dumbass in the front row.
But you definitely do not put up with shit.
No, that's because
you'll
even
interact
less
with
now.
the audience and enjoy it, and then you don't put up with shit, and you'll bounce those people right out.
I want to play a game of yes and with the crowd when I choose to participate. Right
there, you go.
We go back and forth and as long as we're playing the same game, it's fun. But if I've started doing something else and you're still under the impression that we're doing a thing, well, now I have to correct you. And usually it's not even those people. It's just people who decided we were doing a thing and we weren't even doing a thing. It's and those are the people that you gotta kick out with all right. Glorious Thunder.
Dude, I could talk with you all night. You know I could, but
you have a stack of guests.
I got a whole group of people waiting to come on in, including my science advisor, Tanya, who has huge news that she wants to announce.
She is brilliant, and you should get the camera off of me and on to bigger and better guests. I'll hang out in the background and watch a little bit of that conversation, but I've got to shoot over to the secret group myself. So
tell the Oregon guy, forgot his damn name. The guy who's on tonight.
Come on, Billy.
Wayne Davis. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Billy Wayne Davis. He was on my show too. Tell him I said hi.
Billy's fantastic. He's there tonight and tomorrow night. He is an incredible comic, originally from the Seattle scene, and I'm not even sure where he's living now. But I met him. I was touring with Ralphie May, and Billy Wayne came on and ended up picking up his Ralphie's opener for a while after I did. So very good friends through that circuit. I'll tell him hello.
Yeah. See, we're running the risk of talking for another 20 minutes.
Well, let's pick another night when I can come on and just run forever, because I will.
Yeah, we'll do that. When the quarantine happy hour is now run its course, the Old Humble happy hour will come back in a couple of months, and we'll have you back.
Happy to have been on twice in 100. I'll take it.
Cheers, brother.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Talk to you in a bit. All right, that was Slade Ham, international man of mystery, worldwide comic, and whiskey brother. Just a fantastic guy. But so this is how this is all progressing. Jeff, I knew way back in the day. Jeff, I knew him. He was doing shows at Darwin's Pub, and I met him there. I also met Slade through Darwin's, or through Slade's podcast, and he introduced me to Darwin's. Slade introduced me to this next guest, who has become my science advisor, Tanya Rogers. Tanya, cheers and salutations. Welcome to the show. Big, giant, awesome episode 100. You are our science advisor. You're going to help me make whiskey happen, or space whiskey happen. You can't help me make whiskey happen in space.
We have these daydreams, and I'm waiting for them to come to reality, the day where we're blasting barrels of whiskey into these cool different gravity environments.
It's going to be awesome. I'm reworking, instead of sending a wooden barrel into space. And notice, look around us. There's no Lisa to tell me I can't talk about these things. So
I'm sure she'll go back and watch this and say something.
Though. But that's fine. I've got my naughty cocktail over here that we're going to do in a minute too. So like, she's not here to say you can't do whiskey in space because you're going to kill somebody. Like, seriously, if you get hit by a whiskey barrel falling from space, like you didn't move 6 feet to the left or right, you probably deserve to get hit by a whiskey barrel falling.
And there are such worse ways to go. I don't know. If somebody's telling your story at a funeral, a falling barrel of alcohol from space sounds pretty cool.
And that's the way Robert wanted to go.
Living out his final wishes.
But you've got a huge announcement to make as well.
Well,
you're not just an earthbound scientist anymore. Some nerd stuck in a laboratory in some university plugging away at formulas and test tubes and whatever scientists do. I don't know. You've got like big news coming.
Well, it's
big news.
It's still earthbound, but it's space on Earth, if that makes sense. So going to space is super, super hard, and it's not just hard from a technology perspective, but there's a lot of things you have to think about. You put somebody in essentially a bubble and tell them to go live on Mars for 2 years. mentally that can mess with you. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
The atmosphere can mess with you.
Yeah.
Thinking about where am I going to get my next meal from, that could be a problem. And so people who think about space, they try to kind of pretend they're doing all of this stuff here on Earth so they can try to make that situation better for the astronauts going up there. And so they have these things called analog astronauts. And it's actually really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
And when I tell this story, everybody's like, oh, you're going to be in the movie Biodome. And so I think that's what comes to mind for everybody. But it's these domes that are actually scattered all over the world. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize there were so many. There are some in Hawaii. There are some in Antarctica. There are some like the coast of some country that I didn't even know the name of until I had to check it on a map. And they put people in these isolated environments, lock you up, basically throw away the key and say, okay, go live there with 3 other people for 45 days, 60 days, some people for, 6 months. And let's see how you do. Can you behave like an astronaut? Can you think like an astronaut? And what sort of data can we collect from you? So you are just these living human test subjects for however long you're there.
It's like a shadow mission. Like it's partly to test y'all for what y'all are doing, but it's also to test for what they have to do up there based on the supplies that you have on hand.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
like
yeah.
They run you through emergency scenarios like airlock's busted or whatever, and you've got to figure out how to fix it because you're on Mars and you can't just go to the hardware store and get a new airlock. Like exactly. I can, because I can go get an airlock whenever I want to. Because
you're just living the good Earth life while the rest of us space suckers. But no. So that's exactly right. Like everything that you would do on the space station happens on Earth. So when you go in, they shut the door, and you only have enough food for X amount of days. And everything is super planned out. So when astronauts are on the space station, there's not as much freedom as you would think. You actually get a little signal sent up from mission control, which is like the coolest phone call ever, right? And they have an entire schedule for you. And they say, okay, you wake up at 0700. And then for the next 11 hours, down to the minute, this is exactly what you're going to be doing. And they do the same thing for these analog space situations. So for 2 hours, you're doing operations, and for 3 hours you're doing cool science experiments, you're growing space plants, and you're looking at how cephalopods or different brine shrimp will behave in different environments. And then for the next 4 hours you're doing top secret missions that they don't tell me about, or you're talking to aliens, or whatever crazy things. You're not actually talking to aliens. I shouldn't say that. When I say that to people, then that conversation goes in a different direction. But it's just like that. And I'm one of the candidates. I'm one of the finalists right now, so I haven't been selected. But I'm cool. Keeping my fingers crossed.
The coolest thing. And I will sneak you a flask so that I can have analog space whiskey.
I don't know how well that will go. There are actually stories about.
Tell anybody. Don't tell anybody it can't be done, because when I take the bottle and put it on my shelf, all they're going to think is that it actually happened. It's marketing.
So here's the thing. So the space station is this consortium of different countries, right? It's not just America up there. And if you think about all the countries that are up there, if you had to pick somebody that would sneak alcohol up to the space station, who would be your top pick?
Well,
it's the Russians. It's totally the Russians. That's and it's crazy.
They're gonna take all the vodka. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's crazy because every now and then we've got these fancy instruments up there, and they give us these fancy signals and tell us what's in the atmosphere. And every now and then we'll get spikes of things high that shouldn't be high. If that makes sense. Like, oh, there's more of this molecule in the atmosphere than we usually have. Where is this coming from? And people like to develop these theories like, oh, the Russians are just next door partying again, opening up their vodka.
Yeah, I get that. So I could talk to you about this all night long, like literally. And we have, I think, in the past talked about space travel, interstellar travel, the challenges with interstellar travel. Hell, we had me and my kids had this conversation at the table over dinner the other night about the biggest challenge I think is actually communicating with people if you send them 100 years away, because you got to wait for 100 years to actually tell them that something's going on and anyway. But I can't, because you've got stuff to do. You promised me 20 minutes. I've taken your 20 minutes. And I've got a panel of folks waiting to come on. But I can't wait to talk to you. And the next time I talk to you and tell you about the findings for my next experiment, with the whiskey, just to confirm that the barrel will fail in space, because I've still got to confirm that. I know you told me, a room full of eggheads told me that a wooden barrel will fail in space, but I'm going to confirm that experiment and redesign the launch capsule.
We can you can always find a way to make something happen. We just have to find that path. So I'm not going to say it's going to fail yet. We just got to figure out the right solution.
Well, I mean, I feel fairly confident that y'all are right that a wooden barrel will explode. So we'll just I'll make it an aluminum barrel and we'll put wooden staves inside of it, or
there you go.
it in aluminum. I can do that. Anyway, Tanya, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for helping celebrate 100 episodes with me. This is awesome. This is exciting. And you know, I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Always good to talk to you. See you later.
Thank you. Bye, Tanya. That was Tanya. Tanya Rogers, my science advisor. She's going to help me make space whiskey. She's going to help me make that thing happen. And as this show has progressed over the months and shows that we've done, the next couple of guests we've got were the first, it's the first YouTube channel to take our whiskey, try it, and review it, and have me on the show.
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
Guys, cheers. And I'm going to put myself down below. Y'all are up here above me.
Yep, we're up top. We're on top right now.
I've still got my flight stave here.
Oh, nice.
And my T-shirt is right, it's underneath my, it's right here on my table. Not this stuff. That's my notebook where I had my show notes. See, I still keep y'all shirt real close by.
Nice.
There it is.
That's awesome. Well, I don't know how we're going to top astronauts and whiskey in space, Joe.
Yeah.
But we can try. I mean, that's a tough follow. Not going to lie.
It's a real project that I'm working on, with real NASA people helping me work on it.
Okay.
They're advising me of the best way to take a barrel, put it up into either in space, actual space, like space above the atmosphere, or near space, close to space where the atmosphere doesn't exist much anymore. But we'll see. It'll be a series. It'll be awesome. It'll be delicious.
That'll be something. I hope this works out. I really do.
I know. That'd be amazing.
I think so. I mean, even if it doesn't work out, it'll be a really cool story. It'll be a really cool video, and I probably wouldn't tell anybody that it didn't work, and I'd still put whiskey in a bottle and sell the bottles for like $600 a bottle and say,
there you go.
Space whiskey. It's really
exactly. You just go, look at this, the special reserve from space.
Yeah.
That's all you do.
Right.
Y'all got the bottles. Good deal.
Yes, we did.
Yes,
we
thank you so much.
Boys.
Honestly, yes, cheers, sir. We got it right poured out already.
Cheers.
Love the new labels, by the way, too. Those are really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. The special reserve, slight update to the special reserve label. It's very subtle. I'm glad y'all noticed it.
Oh, I did. Because I still had some of the old special reserve with the old barrel, the old bottle on there, and I was just comparing it. And I was like, oh, he's got all kind of new design going on in the background. It is subtle, but it's nice. I like it.
Yeah, and actually the next iteration is going to be there's one more slight update to it that I'm going to make with the next iteration. And it will also be very slight and nobody will notice it. But so tell us what y'all been doing over on Keeping It Neat.
Well, Joe, after we had you on, actually we had a huge amount of growth come from January till right now. We've gotten like over 350 new subscribers to our channel, which is awesome. So we're on our way trying to make that milestone that everybody wants to get to, 1,000 subscribers, so we can get our community page and kind of, start doing more stuff.
Are y'all going to fight a kangaroo when you get 1,000 subscribers?
Yeah, we could. That's something, cool. Kangaroo in space would be better, I think. That'd be pretty awesome. We could do, if we could work something out with your NASA contacts.
That's just not fair. I mean, we're better adapted probably to fight in space than kangaroos. At least on Earth, we're evenly matched.
Yes, but I mean, you ever seen that jacked kangaroo they always show in like all the memes? You know what I mean? That looks like a pretty ornery critter.
See, that's why I want to fight him, because he just looks like a douchebag.
He's already antagonizing you.
Yeah, see, just by his looks,
wearing his fedora with his vests, and you're just like, you're a douchebag, man.
Yeah. No, we've got
off his head.
Yeah, exactly. No, we've got some stuff coming up. We've got a couple of live events that we're going to be doing at a couple of local places, local eatery near us. We'll be doing a live from there. They have a South Coast Whiskey Society that they want us to do their inaugural bash. So we're going to be there for all the whole 5 hours of it. And we're going to do a little live tasting going on during that. We also have another
South Coast. You're talking about South Coast of that little.
Yeah, the armpit. We're the armpit of Massachusetts. That's where we're located. So when you see the arm, we're right there. We're in the pit.
Down here, South Coast means something a little bit different.
No. South Coast is up by us, so it's the South Coast Whiskey Society. There's a difference. Yes, I would imagine. Regional.
Cool,
it's regional.
But
to
y'all
us.
do your show not just on YouTube. You do it on Facebook as well, right?
Yeah, we do it on our Facebook group that we have, our Keeping It Neat Facebook group. We do the lives for that. We do those monthly. We do a sip-along. So we send out sip-along kits to all the people that sign up for it. And they get in on it, and we do it. It usually goes about an hour and 20 minutes, and we work through the flight of whiskeys. We talk about it. We talk about it with everybody that's on the air with us on that night, commenting and whatnot. So we do all that. But it's pretty cool. That's neat. And we also go live on Twitter at the same time. So we do the three. We go YouTube,
so
Twitter.
You do Twitter too, yeah. I did Twitter for a while, but I dropped the Twitter and went over. I think I swapped out Twitter and Facebook because I got more people coming to me from Facebook from it.
Oh, yep.
Course,
we've gained a lot of people from Facebook and the YouTube. The YouTube blew up. We started doing a lot of the new thing, like the TikToks, the little shorts they have. So we started doing those short little videos, which are the 59 seconds or less.
Yeah,
and those. So we started doing those, and we had a lot of success with that. So we just keep rolling them out along with our regular whiskey reviews, that blind reviews that we do. So we add some humor to it, like we like to do. And Nick usually goes on some kind of a crazy tangent, dipping stuff into whiskey, or
just dropping it in the whiskey,
dropping it in the whiskey, just trying different things. So that's that's where we're at with that. But
awesome.
Yeah, and we're just really happy to be here on the 100th episode, Joe.
I know.
This is awesome.
Congratulations!
I'm glad to have y'all on. It was y'all show was a milestone for me, in that I was actually able to, because I had sent whiskey out to some folks and we had done videos, or they had done videos, but y'all were the first guys who said, "Hey, come on the show."
Yeah. Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's someone like you're an amazing storyteller, Joe. Let me tell you, you've had a lot of earthly experiences, and you're a very well traveled man, and and the people were entertained. You're an entertainer. You're more than just a whiskey maker.
Well, thank you very much. Well, actually, tonight's cocktail. I had to clear this up.
Ah, there you go.
Tonight's cocktail came to me. It was a cocktail that I found when I was on a bike packing is what it was. It was a bike ride. Backpacking through Central Africa. We were going from the East Coast, or the West Coast to the East Coast through Central Africa, and we stopped in this little apple orchard, and we got some apple cider, and we poured ourselves a glass of the apple cider. And then there was another guy in the bike packing tour who had a bottle of whiskey, and we only had enough glasses for half. Some folks had enough glasses for the whiskey, and some folks had the glass for the cider. So what we did is we just took the apple cider, and we made ourselves a glass of the cider. And then we took the whiskey and dropped it in the cider.
Ooh,
and that made our Slip It In cider cocktail.
I love it.
Nice.
And this was a bike packing tour. I want to say it was in the late 60s, early 70s, somewhere back then.
Mm-hmm.
You could get away with a whole lot of stuff back then.
Well, back then,
probably a group of 19 or 20 of us just, bikepacking across Africa. It's really beautiful place.
Wow.
Beautiful land. Look at that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you had the cider and everything ready to go. That's nice.
I mean, more people should bikepack across Africa. Well, in the late 60s, early 70s, more people should bikepack across Africa. Probably not so much now.
Maybe not now. No.
It's probably a little bit more dangerous now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. And I don't even know if those apple groves are still there, because I hear the elephants are assholes. They just kind of run over all kinds of stuff. And
the kangaroos are douchebags. The elephants are assholes. You got a lot of beef.
Yeah, I know. The animal kingdom is not Joe's friend.
I mean, have you seen an elephant get angry and just kill everything?
Just name everything, throwing stuff around. Yeah, rhinoceros too.
Story I read recently that the there's like gangs of elephants going into this town and eating the ferment. They're finding the barrels of whiskey or rum or vodka or whatever they had in the town and getting into the beer. They're getting into the beer, and then they're getting drunk and just passing out in the streets in the town. And what do you do if there's a drunk elephant passed out on the street in your town? Nothing. You go around.
No,
So it's, I thought it was a great story, but I have no idea where this is at. Probably, I mean, obviously it's either like Africa or Asia where they have elephants.
Yep. Well, it could be either. You know what I mean? So wherever
Probably
they get
not
into
in
the
South
whiskey.
America.
Oh,
That's a wild story.
that is. That's wild right there. But yeah, a drunk elephant, you just leave it.
When can we find your live shows?
Live shows we do monthly. We do once a month. We go live. We'll be on our YouTube channel, Keeping It Neat. It'll be on our Facebook group, Keeping It Neat. You can join that, sign up. You know, we talk about all things.
The YouTube channel is in the description of this video, so go down and find it.
And go there, and everything else is attached with that YouTube.
There you go.
Everything's in there. You can join our Facebook group from there. You can get us on Twitter, where we talk about everything all the time. And we do it once a month. We usually make an announcement on the days. The days change. It's usually like the third week of the month, the third Wednesday. We try to do. It's always on a Wednesday. And so just break up the week. You know, the hump day, get through it, help everyone through.
And I would encourage everybody watching to go to their show when they do it. You know, subscribe to their channel, get the notification when the show comes on. Go into their comments and just donate ours because these guys need all the hours that they can get. There is a shocking lack of ours in the Northeast.
Yeah, we don't need those up here. We turn them in. We don't need it in a yard. We don't need it with a car. We're all set.
You're really good at it, Derek.
Yeah, well, sometimes it slips, you know, sometimes you forget how much you are from, you know, the Boston area when you start talking and people hear you. You know, I've gone to stuff, you know, I think I told Joe the last time when we were on his or he was on ours, I went somewhere down south and I went to a festival or a fair and I went to go order a drink. I said, yeah, just give me a large. They were like, a what? Can you? And they were calling people over that were working behind the counter. Hey, come over here. You got to listen to this guy. Can you tell me what you want again, sir? Yeah, I just want a large Coke over there. Just give me a large. You know, you don't. It's not that hard. You just put it on my card. A card?
Put it on my card.
Put it on my card.
Goodness gracious, guys! Thanks for coming on the show. I appreciate it. I really do.
Thank you very much for having us, Joe.
Yeah,
we
thank
love
you
it
so much.
I know it's late.
For us on this side of the country, it's a little later, but not that late.
Because you're way over there by the ocean. God.
The ocean's tougher over here. We it gets darker quicker.
Dakar Noir. Anyway, I'm sure there's a joke in there if I need to get one of my comedian friends to write it.
Oh.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you very much.
Episodes in the can. And next week, episode 99. We are giving away this blinged out bottle of whiskey that will be unveiled sometime later this week when it finishes drying. I could take this tape off.
Nice.
But it is definitely the bottle we talked about 2 weeks ago on the show because it still has the star.
Oh, still get the star. Very nice. Very nice. Well, cheers, Joe. Congratulations, sir.
Cheers again, my friend.
Gentlemen.
Thank you for having us on.
And my next guest is ready to come, so I will bid you fellas adieu.
Adieu, sir.
That is a fancy French term for goodbye, I learned during the pandemic. Adieu means goodbye. And that brings in our next guest, who was the first, I guess he's the first gaming YouTuber that I brought on the show. And he gave really great advice on how to build a channel, and he's a really fun guy. And I get a tremendous amount of enjoyment out of watching his gaming shows. Raptor, cheers, brother. Welcome on the show.
Hey. Good to see ya.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers to you.
Did you get your package in the mail?
Oh, I certainly did. I got it ready to go.
And you were I think you were the first YouTuber to do sponsored content for me.
Oh, wonderful.
When I sent you the bot, you did the tavern simulator.
Yeah.
Back when you did simulation of games that weren't chore simulators.
True.
I had to give you just a little bit of shit about that. You've gone up. Let's see. Last I looked, you had 940,000 subscribers on your channel.
Yeah, that's about right.
You're teetering very close to a million subscribers.
Yep, almost 1 million. It's probably going to happen hopefully by the end of summer. So pretty excited. It could be any moment, though.
So that means, well, let's see. Have you fought any kangaroos over the
Not
course
yet.
of the accumulating thousands of subscribers? No. Okay. Is there a kangaroo fighting simulator?
Well, I remember I played Planet Zoo, which
That's
is a
right.
management zoo game. So maybe there were kangaroos that fought in that. Maybe
Maybe there's a way to put a little boxing ring.
that's true. Well, that's
Yeah.
not far fetched then. Yeah,
Yeah.
the kangaroo idea is not too
That
far
is-
off.
That is
It's possible.
possibly the dumbest idea that I've come up with for promoting my channel. To fight a kangaroo when I get 1,000 subscribers, but I also thought it was very unlikely that I would get 1,000 subscribers. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. It always feels like a
anytime
long
soon.
goal. Yeah, yeah. I feel that way still about the million. Like it'll never happen. But since 1,000 happened and 10,000 and so on and so forth, it's a long road. But you get there.
But luckily, I could always count on my community to make sure that I did not have to fight a kangaroo. So
That's true.
it would make a great video. I'm sure
It would, though. It would. It certainly
Uh,
would.
I could just imagine, because we actually do. We have a aquarium that's opening up down the street from where I live. And
Right.
they have, they have fish and they have kangaroos and they have sloths. I don't know why they have those three things in an aquarium, but I could just imagine the confused look on the face of the aquarium keepers, I guess is what they would be
Yeah.
called, when I show up in the robe and the boxing shorts,
Oh, right.
gloves on, and
And the
like,
towel and the manager.
Yeah, like where's your kangaroo pen?
Yeah. That would be quite the sight.
Man, that would be fun. So your channel, it's ICBM Raptor 2 on,
Yep.
On the YouTube. The link's down there in the description. Links for all these guys are down there in the description. You are a YouTube gamer. You do
Yep.
mostly well, when I first encountered you, you were doing you still do Sims, but you were doing world builders, you were doing city builders, kingdom builders, economic simulators. You still do transport tycoon simulator games and things like that. But you branched out. Are these developers sending you games to try out now, or are you still having to go out and seek them out? And
It's gotten a lot easier to find new stuff because, like, for example, recently on Steam they had which is like it's like a big marketplace for games. It's like you may have heard of Steam or Origin or Uplay, and they've started to do, especially this year, this is their second time doing like big demo events, so anybody can like try out a game before they buy it, and so it allows people to add it to their wish list, and then they can, if they really like the demo, they add it to their wish list, and then they get an email when it comes available. And then they can either buy it there or wait for a sale. The Steam sale is on now too, so the game prices are like typically, if I can't get a game via like a developer reaching out to me, if there's some older game I wanted to get, I can always circle back to that. So it is now easier, even since the last time we talked. At least for me, it seems like it's been, because of everything going on, more people at home, so more people on email and more people wanting to consume digital content and having marketplaces available to do that. So it's been a lot easier to just find these games to try them out, which is kind of cool. For the most part, some of the games you've seen me play, I like to do 3 or 4 parts, and then I get a feel for it and we come back for it if I can. There's always something new to try. But for these games, it's like the demo lasts a couple of hours. I can typically build something really nice. Recently I did a hotel simulator, and in that it was kind of like a city builder, but you're building a hotel. So you get the diner, you get the rooms, and then you get to make the bar. So, there's a lot of stuff you can do within what would seem to be like a short demo, but it's perfect for the channel because typically a lot of people watch one episode, and I didn't realize so many people were using it to determine whether or not they wanted to buy games. So we went from, I went from buying games myself and then just playing them because I wanted to people asking a lot of questions about the games, and demos are a great way for me to tell people about them, and then they can try it themselves at no cost. So the wall for getting into gaming and creating videos about gaming has never been lower, really.
Now, I also wonder, with the development of Steam as a platform for developers, if it's kind of democratized game development, because it used to be they had to bring a game to market when it was finished.
Yeah.
Because back when we were kids, certainly back when I was a kid, it was cartridges. But when I was a slightly older kid, you got games on CDs and you plugged it in and you downloaded the content and your game was there and it was finished and it was fully formed, and there were expansion packs that you could add to it.
Right.
But now you can get games that just have the basic economic structure and a bunch of stuff that hasn't been filled in yet, and then the dev comes back a couple months later and he's filled in some things, and he comes back a couple months later. It's that basic package that they can bring to the market to see how it works, and then they get feedback from people. And it seems to me, I may be completely wrong on this, but it seems to me that it's made it easier for developers to develop games, especially individuals to develop games.
Yeah.
Have you seen more of that where it's just individuals and less like companies?
It's absolutely true, because people are able to reach more people than ever, individuals, via Twitter or Discord, or posting a little trailer of their game on YouTube. You know, I think since we last talked, I can't remember if Among Us was a thing then or if it came about afterwards, but you know, small teams of like 3 or 4 college students getting together and making a game, and then a few YouTubers finding it. That's the marketing right there. That if a lot of people are enjoying a game, it doesn't really need marketing because it kind of takes care of itself. So,
right.
Yeah.
And you know, if it's a small team, something I am intimately familiar with, if it is a small organization making a product, you don't need a lot of units being pushed out.
Right.
Because you don't have to have a giant building, you don't have to pay for an office, you don't have to pay for staff and insurance and all the other things. It's just one guy who needs to eat and pay rent, and keep his lovely wife from divorcing him.
Of course.
So I don't have to sell 900 cases a month. I can sell, well, I would like to sell 900 cases a month, but I don't have to in order to keep the lights on. I can go up to just 100 or so, and that makes it easy when to stay nimble and stay interesting, because you can bring basic stuff to market. What have you learned over the course of the pandemic, over the course of the last year of staying in? Have you changed your style of production? Have you changed your style of approach? Have you changed anything over the last year as your channel has grown?
Yeah, I would say I've experimented more with going live a little bit more and doing extended live streams. People have been watching a lot more videos, so it's given me a little bit more of attracting people who like what I want to do, which is kind of like make a hangout where everybody is there from kind of start to finish. Like with a podcast, you listen typically from the very start to the very end, and rarely do people skip around. Videos are a little less like that, but it seems like I've really attracted a lot of people who were doing a lot of work from home, so they had higher attention spans because they were forced to sit there for 8 hours a day to do their work or whatnot from a computer, accounting or whatever, and they would play the live streams or whatnot in the background for 2-3 hours as kind of a podcast. And so it gave a lot more people kind of a place to hang out, and our Discord kind of grew. So it's become more about the community than me just playing games, except I kind of started it to find people to play games with. And so it was that for a while. Then it kind of became something else. I'm not sure what, just kind of like a regular channel. And now it's turned back to a pretty tight knit group of people who just kind of want to hang out, which is great for how big the channel is. I'm glad it's not just a bunch of people willing to support no matter what. It's kind of, there's more of a connection with everybody, and the pandemic has allowed for people to kind of have that connection. More people on Zoom calls, Discord, gaming together, and you work on your computer, and then when you're done, you go and game on your computer or watch Netflix or whatever. So it's I've kind of met a few more people that way. Great opportunities showed up. Like, for example, there was a Summer Games Fest recently with a big name, Jeff Keighley, who is he's Canadian-born gamer who kind of started his own, almost like it's like his own E3, like a massive event in the industry was E3, and he started his own Summer Games Fest, which kind of was his own thing where he wanted to showcase the games he wanted to. And so it's really cool that there are so many more different people from different backgrounds and interests making games, and also buying those games, that we don't have to do there's always going to be those big, massive, appealing games. And I want to play those too. But I've actually noticed on the channel that, opportunities like me speaking with you now came from smaller, different games that not a lot of people would, it's not going to be the number one seller, but it actually is really interesting and teaches you something. You learn something, whether you like it or not. And I heard an interesting somebody say something about YouTube videos, which is true about gaming, where it's like every YouTube video you've ever seen either does one or two things of two categories. It's either an educational video or it's an entertaining video, or both, but it's never anything other than those. So if you're looking to buy a car and it's a funny car review, but you got some information about it, that's the same with games. If you went and made your own car company and it ended up burning down on fire and it was a lot of fun and havoc ensued, you learned some things about safety protocol and business management, but also it's a game and you wanted to have fun, and it was kind of cool to see everything up in flames. So it's really a much more diverse market pretty much every day.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the cool things about platforms like Steam is it's not just making it easier for developers to come to market, individual developers, it's making it easier for more different types of developers, more different people with different backgrounds to bring different games.
Yeah.
It's not just a Duke Nukem first-person shooter. Does that age me? Does that date me a little bit if I refer to Duke Nukem?
I don't know. I think he's still kind of relevant, at least in terms of.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
I know Castle Wolfenstein is still a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But that still kind of dates me then. But even some of the games from my youth have come out on Steam as updated versions of their original thing. But it's just more different people with more different backgrounds, and you get things like Among Us, and you get things like Five Nights at Freddy's, and different weird fun games that we didn't used to see. They just weren't around because they just weren't people who thought of that stuff.
True.
Way back in the day. Which I just find fast. Dude, I could talk to you about this all night. You do your live streams like every you don't have them scheduled out for a specific day. You're on all the time. You have live streams and content coming out every day, yeah?
Pretty much, yep, every day.
Are you full-time YouTube now?
I
don't remember if you were full-time YouTube last time we talked.
Yes, I was for about, I think when we started talking, it was just over a year. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember when that was, but it feels like over the last year, it feels like 3 or 4 years now. But yeah, I cannot think of a better thing to spend my time, because I'm up early and excited to do this, and I'm up late wanting to get the next thing done. And there is just something special about pulling the trigger on a video and getting to see all the views come in and all the responses. It's almost like you're making a meal and you're really eager, for somebody you love, like a family member, or you invited a bunch of friends over for a barbecue and you're trying out a new rub or a new sauce or something like that, and you want to get that feedback, and that's what it feels like. So it's been a good investment of time.
Has there been any games in the last year that you've played them and you're just like, you've started playing them, you've gotten like 20, 30 minutes into it, and you're like, this is dreadful? I don't hear that when you're playing. I assume you mask it because you're good at what you do. But have there been games you're like, I'm not ever playing this again? Oh my God.
I've recently, people keep asking, like,
say the name of the game.
Yeah.
If there is.
People do ask, like, what do you think about this game? I'm generally positive, and it's funny, you and I mentioned, Duke Nukem and things like that. I can think of all the crashing and how bad things used to look, that it's like gaming has been going in such a right direction that, like, if a game is off a little bit, I don't think they're ever as bad as the games that were considered to be good like 25 years ago or something like that. I always just think back to my roots, and I'm like, man, I tried to picture it when I was young, like PlayStation 1. I was like, man, what are graphics going to be like? And I could never picture any of this. But when it comes to thinking about like games that are bad, they're mostly just unfinished, and then they kind of fizzle out and you never hear about them again.
Yeah, I get that.
It's really different than like a movie or like it's kind of like a restaurant in town where you drive past it for a while, and maybe you go to eat there once and it was okay or whatnot, and you're like, maybe we'll go back there again, and then it kind of disappears, and then everyone asks you what you thought, and you're like, well, I thought it was okay, but I haven't tried everything on the menu. And with, like you were mentioning, all these early access games, there's a lot of promise, and they deliver on a lot of things, and a lot of them do hit the mark. I recently tried a city management game called Industries of Titan, and everything was really nice with that game. I loved it from the beginning. And then they reached out to do a sponsorship, and I was like, absolutely, because this is my forte. This reminds me of City Skylines and Sim City and all the classics. This is for me. This is my type of game. So, and it made all the right moves to make the game better and to deliver on what they promised fans, which is important. And it's still in early access, so it's not done. So it could turn to be a bad game, but most games on Steam, I just feel like the good ones always rise to the top, and the bad ones kind of just fizzle out. People sometimes make videos about them to make fun of them years later, but for the most part, it's like pizza. I always make that reference. It's either good or great. It's very rare that I have a bad one.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. You mentioned PlayStation 1 as games from your youth. I'm thinking of television from games.
Oh yeah,
playing Burger Time and and
yeah, those are good though. Those are good. Well, and then they bring those back.
Got the Intellivision, not the Atari.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why they chose Intellivision over Atari, because Atari had longer legs and lived longer. But I think Intellivision had cooler games.
Oh yeah.
And man, I think back to the graphics in Intellivision when it was the square people and the pixel boxes of people running the football games. Man.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Good times.
Yeah, people used to be 4 or 5 pixels, and now they literally have like an entire sports team, the entirety of the NFL is like 3D scanned into a game.
Full body green suit scanning into.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Voice actors doing voiceover.
All the announcers.
Athletes getting their voices sampled. IMDb credits for real actors doing voiceover work for games, and you're like, I recognize that when you see somebody in a movie, you're like, I recognize that voice.
Yeah.
The idea of video games being an entire entertainment segment.
Yes.
Back when I was a kid, back when I was a kid, we got a stick and a ball, and we enjoyed it, and we thought we were.
That's right. Yeah.
Titans of the planet. I had a rock and a stick, and I liked it. But I think, oh man. The question I had asked earlier, you do live stuff, you do content all the time. Best way people can catch your games is just subscribe to your channel and hit that notification bell so that they would be reminded when you're doing stuff.
Right, exactly.
That's it. New content daily, and hell, sometimes 2 or 3 stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, there you go. Raptor, man, you gave me great advice when I had you on the show earlier. You were my first after hours episode.
Oh yeah.
Because the conversation was going so well. We had our happy hour. I kept you on for another 20 minutes. You were a gracious guest. I really appreciate it. When that Moonshine Madness game hits, I definitely want to collaborate with you on a couple of episodes with that.
Oh, sure.
And I may even put that on gaming content on my channel, because I like a city builder. And if it's a whiskey sim, I'm in. That sounds fun. Because I got to wait a month to get whiskey out of my stills. So.
Oh, yeah.
If I can manage to do it without having to wait a month and get virtual whiskey, that'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
What do you want to plug before you go, man?
Other than the channel, I do have Twitter, which is at Raptor Gamer, Instagram as well. But most things could just be linked through YouTube. So I have a Twitch channel as well. Yeah, all the links are there. So once you sub, just go to the I think it's called the About page, and everything there should be linked to Twitter, Instagram, and also Twitch.
And if you're coming here looking for him, I gotta make sure I'm pointing in the right direction. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We have more. We're gonna have live music and all kinds of fun stuff coming out once we reconfigure our quarantine happy hour to just a plain old happy hour. And it is, I say that like it's bad, like just a plain old happy hour. I kind of go down. We're going to change it from a quarantine happy hour to a plain old awesome happy hour that we'll be able to do every week, sometimes twice a week, right out of the distillery with live music and all kinds of cool stuff. So your episode is actually still the highest watched episode on my channel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And it broke 1,000 for a while, but then they took away some of those views. I don't know why YouTube does that shit. So
yeah.
Hopefully this one will top that, and I can say my distinguished panel of guests has helped me come to another new plateau.
Hope so.
Man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you so much for joining me. You're an awesome talk. You're an awesome guest. And never-ending source of fascination and fun. Cheers, brother.
Yeah, thank you for the gift too, by the way. Appreciate it a lot.
Welcome.
This is
You're
very
very
good stuff. I love the special reserve. That's my favorite. I love
remember
that
you
so
telling
much.
me that last time
Yep,
I
you
picked it
did
up.
remember.
I did.
Thank you very much.
I listen to people sometimes, no matter what my wife says and blah blah blah, whatever else.
Of course.
Cheers, Raptor. Good night.
All right, thank you, Joe.
I'm trying to find the button. There it is. Got it. All right, that was Raptor Gaming. You can find the link to his channel down below. He's a hella entertaining. He's thoroughly fun. And hi, Mike Fagerstrom from high school. Man, it's good times. So here's the progression of the show that I've talked about. Met Slade way back in the early days. Met Jeff way back in the early days of trying to promote the distillery in general. Met Slade through the Whiskey Brothers podcast. Met Jeff over at Darwin's after Slade said, "Hey, go to Darwin's." Slade introduced me to Tanya. I reached out, the Keeping It Neat guys reached out to me and said, "Hey, we want to put you on our show." Like, yeah, here's some whiskey. I'll put you on my show. We kind of traded shows. And then I stumbled across these other two dudes who were doing a brewing channel called 21090, and I met this other guy named Micah's Mix who had a tasting channel at the time that he started doing gaming. And these next guys are those guys. I fondly, in Lone Star Beer Reviews, who I met through those guys, I fondly refer to these guys as the 210 Mafia. Yeah, because I met them.
He's
all-
not 210 Mafia. Wait, hold on. I don't know about that. Don't give us that much credit.
Hey, Jeff. Sorry, I'll bring you back in a second, Jeff. Wait,
Jeff, you could be in the Mafia if you want. I like that 210 Mafia. I do like that. That's a good. I might coin that. Well, cheers, everybody.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
I've been sipping on this for a while. Joe, thank you for the delivery today. I mean, listen, I was getting a little low on the special reserve, so I'm glad that I now have a new one to fill up. The question is, do I give Andy another bottle? Which
No,
I'm
the answer's
wondering.
no.
I think the answer is definitely no.
The answer's no. Keep
He's
that
not
for yourself,
here. Yeah.
I know what was in the box, but I also know who's on the screen. So
Yeah. There's that fact in of itself, and thank you for having me. Thank you for. I think I'm the only one who gets to say this. Hand delivering the package because
you're one of three hand delivered bottles.
3 hand delivered. Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Now, wait. Am I one of the ones who has a signed bottle? And has to make their own?
Now he's just showing off.
Now he's just showing
off. Now he's just showing off.
I just need to verify here. I mean, I need to I rep Old Humble. Like, I have a bottle that just sits right here, and whenever I'm in my normal
you're
scene.
the only one on the screen that has a signed bottle that they made themselves.
Okay. I'm fine with that. I'll take it.
I think that's
I'm a little cocky, so I'll take it.
So you're not the only one who has a signed bottle, because every time I go do tastings, there's thousands of those.
Okay, that's fair.
And when we do the tours, they generally do tours, and part of my tour is they get to fill their own bottles if they want to. And that's a great way to sell whiskey, by the way. Hey, this is how we fill the bottles. You want to push the button, and they push the button, and you seal them. And like, this one's yours. That's $30.
Yeah.
Great way to sell bottles on the tour.
There you go. 100, man. That's amazing.
Yes, big time.
So we've got Lone Star Beer Reviews here to my left, 21090 down below me, and over here, Micah's Mix. Who now Micah, you initially started with a beer review channel, and you converted over to general entertainment.
The dark side.
I converted to I call it variety. I call it variety because I do whatever the hell I want to. I got tired of all of the YouTube, which the most searched thing on YouTube is how to become a YouTuber. 100%. It is the most searched thing on YouTube is how to become a YouTuber. I got tired of all of those guys saying you have to have a niche, you have to have a niche, you have to have a niche. I said, screw your niche. I'm going to do what the hell I want. And it's worked out so far. So I'm not complaining.
Can't argue that. Can't argue that.
Like I was telling Slade, I'm tired of people telling me I have to record and edit shit. I like live TV. That's what I like. We're just gonna have happy hours all the fucking time.
I am one of those people who thinks you have to edit shit, but that's me.
If I could live stream every video, I'd be fine.
No, live streams are completely different. Live streams
I
are
like
different.
the idea of better quality stuff that I can edit together. I just don't like the idea of doing the editing.
Yeah.
It's work. It's work.
Yeah.
It's a crap ton of work. I mean, I've been working on your commercial for what, 3 months now?
Yeah, come on, Micah. Where's that
Man,
commercial?
Dude, that is so. There's so much stuff that I do. I've gone through like 5 different commercials, and I'm whenever it comes to editing something like that he is going to put out and like have on things. It has to meet my standards. I don't give a shit about his standards. My standards are higher than
Understood.
his. I know they are.
We are almost critics.
I would real quick. Cheers to Eileen in the chat. Eileen, how are you, friend?
Cheers.
Real quick, while I have everybody here, my lovely wife, who was reluctantly.
All right.
Yay!
Hey! Hi, Mrs. Humble.
She was my first co-host way back in the day.
No, there's your mistake.
It was our
Kept her.
fireside. Literally, we were doing fireside chats on the back patio. Me and my lovely wife and our
awesome.
Fire pit talking, because we had just gotten back when the quarantine started. We had just gotten back from a road trip to the Grand Canyon.
Oh,
so
man.
we were talking about our trip to the Grand Canyon. We were talking about our trips previous to that. So for like 2 months or something like that, we were doing out on the back patio with the computer camera and all that stuff with the fire pit. And then it became the surface of the sun in Houston. So we moved everything inside. And then she's like, I don't want to do your stupid show anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
Retired after
Honest
work.
woman. Honest woman.
I think that's what Shade said to Micah, and that's why he changed to Micah's mix. She's like, I'm done with your stupid show.
So no shit. Shade's here actually. She's not in
Oh,
here
there
right
she
now.
is.
She's not in here right now, but she is here.
Hi, Shade.
She did
I raised
tell
a glass
me.
to the ladies that help stand by us and help us make.
Let's pour a little bit more. See, I drink it neat, guys. I can't help it. I'm a neat guy.
I
No
like
mixing.
it neat.
No
I love it
mixing.
neat. I love it neat, but I gotta mix it with. I mean, because I'm a
No
Texas
way.
guy.
No way,
I'm a Texas
man.
guy. I gotta mix it with my Dr Pepper cream.
Why would
soda.
you-
It's the best.
I know, it's
mix.
all
I got
good.
a highball ginger ale, and then I got the neat glass. So.
Oh, there you go. You got to have it neat, man. I
Now,
tell you this.
do have a signature cocktail for tonight.
Oh,
This particular cocktail came about when I was on a steamer ship in the Indian Ocean while we were delivering spices from India back to England. This is back in the 1600s. We had picked up a traveling burlesque.
There we go. There we go.
A traveling burlesque. Back then it was vaudeville. But we had picked up a vaudeville troupe. And we were delivering the goods and stuff, dodging pirates and the stuff that you would do in the late 1600s, early 1700s on a steamer ship going from India back to England. And one of our shipments was apple cider. And what we would do is we would take the apple cider and we would take, what we would do is some naughty shit on the surface of the ship, because it was a troupe of burlesque performers and vaudeville actors, and
that's the after party show.
So we would take the whiskey and an homage to the activities that we would do on board. We would take the whiskey and slip it in cider.
Slip in cider.
That's like a Boilermaker, right? And that's kind of what that is right there. What kind of was that? A cider? Or that was a hard cider.
Slip it in cider.
That was that was what cider is that you just poured in there? I think I recognized the can.
Cider.
Yes,
cider.
Isn't that Austin original?
Yeah, Austin, Texas.
That's the Austin original right there. They make some decent ciders.
I mean, generally speaking, performers, what they do on stage is what they do on stage, and what they have in their private life is what they have in their private life, and they tend to keep the two separate. But in the late 1600s, when you're on a steamship and you're spending a lot of time out on the Indian Ocean, and there's not a lot of performing to be done because you're the same audience as you are things got a little randy. It was fun.
Cheers.
1600s.
Cheers to Twisted. Thank you for all the men who support some of us too. No doubt about it.
I've got a long list of stories of things that we've done. One of these days, let me tell you about the dude that I tricked into going to Pompeii.
Tricked into going to Pompeii.
Oh, Joe, you have some of the greatest stories.
Oh my God, he was so pissed off, or at least I assume he was. I never talked to him again.
I don't know where this is going.
Was
but
this before the eruption? Is that what you're talking about?
Just before, yeah.
Just before the eruption. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, just checking.
They had a really bad day that day. It was hilarious.
Well, yeah, I mean, nobody lived, so.
No, I mean,
there's that.
So, sideways.
Been around since Jesus was a corporal.
I'll tell you some stories about him in middle school.
In middle school.
yeah.
Okay, so next up, Todd, 21090.
Yes. What's
you
up?
guys were.
What's up?
You reached out to us.
Yeah.
I reached out to you. I don't remember who reached out to who. But
I don't know. I think we somehow we connected. I don't know where. I mean, anytime we
I don't
see.
remember if I came to you through Micah or if Micah came to me through you.
I'm not sure either. It's a weird threesome here. I don't know how it worked.
The way that I remember it was, I did something about a Houston brewery.
Maybe that's what it was.
He found me.
Yep.
And followed me to you.
To you, yeah, because once we saw distillery in our, because at that point we were moving from beer, but Andy was so gung ho to get into whiskey, like that was his thing. And well, we first off started out as a homebrew. I mean, I still brew. Andy doesn't. But that's kind of what our channel was. And similar to what Micah went through, it's like we just don't want to do home brewing. It's the same thing every time. Like that's no fun, right? So like, well, it's all the same. Well, we drink a lot of beer. We see a lot of beer tubers. Let's do that. And we did that for a while, and then it's like, well, we did a lot of barrel-aged stuff, and Andy's like, I kind of like whiskey. I'm getting into whiskey. And he's like, dude, there's a whole new world in whiskey out there for review. So then we got into whiskey. So now it's just like we're beer, whiskey, rock and roll a lot. I mean, in a weird way, Micah, we do kind of what you do. Just we're still niched a bit, but yeah, you know, you gotta have fun, right? Doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity, right? I mean, basically, and we didn't want to just do the same thing over and over again. We wanted to do new things. So we got, and listen, I'm now 100% in the whiskey world. I mean, I just went tonight before this. I saw on a post on a social media page that a Total Wine had an Eagle Rare store pick that I have never had Eagle Rare, and I wanted to get it for $39. And I drove 15 miles right before this, and I got it. I don't want to show it, but I mean, so that's what I'm into now.
If you're talking about your rare pick that you picked up in the store.
Yeah, sorry, but listen. But my point is, if you would have watched some of our early stuff where Andy was trying to introduce whiskey into our channel, I was like not feeling it, and I would drink like old Granddad 114. I'd be like, this is like fire water, it's gasoline. I'm not drinking. This is terrible. And now I'll drink it and be like, this is light. You know,
your history with whiskey is the same as my history with whiskey.
There you go.
Beer.
Right.
Beer. I went to wine making and wine tastings, and I did not like whiskey because the only whiskeys I ever drank was Jim and Jack and Johnny Walker.
Well, then why? Right. There you go.
Whatever. And then I go to a whiskey tasting. I believe it or not, they have these things. I go to a whiskey tasting, and there was a flight of whiskeys that tasted vastly different from each other.
Yes.
Fucking delicious.
Exactly.
You make whiskey that tastes good?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That's like trying different stuff and trying to make it
we had
better.
it still on a boat.
I mean, if we can get Jimmy from Ocean World to drink, $150 finished whiskeys, moving from what was McCormick's, which I don't even think it's whiskey. I think we've done something. We've done something good in the world. So that
it's from the bottle, which is
not the one he drinks is a blended whiskey with 20% whiskey and 80% vodka. So I'm not even sure that's considered whiskey.
They age it in a barrel, and it's.
Do they really though? I don't know.
Do they really though? Is definitely the question.
A hole in the top of the barrel and a hole in the bottom of the barrel, and they can call it aging.
But I will say, Micah, when you were not to reminisce, when he was first starting out. I still think you had your board. I will always say this when you reviewed and you guys kept a running tab of what your favorite beers that you reviewed on. That's something nobody else had, and I love that because I love to see where that beer that you were drinking, where did it go? Was it bumping something down?
Yeah,
I love that idea. If we still did.
Why didn't y'all steal it? I
because
don't understand
you know what?
Why people haven't stole that shit.
I don't know. It's hard to upkeep. You guys had to manually keep it, and we would screw that up. Listen, we do 4 or 5 a night. We get drunk, and by the end of the night, you see what happens on our
We got to 100. We got to 100
Yeah.
beers in like 20 episodes.
When you do that, it's like now it's too big. It's too big.
It was
It's
too big. Like I couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah,
Like, it was
it's-
great.
right.
It was fun to rank them against each other, where we would
Yes.
have certain styles
Yeah.
and rank them against
I
each
loved
other.
it. I loved it.
And it was fun to have like a beer that like blew our mind be
Yes.
the one that we like mentioned for the next 2 weeks or whatever. And that was a lot of fun. And there's things that I do like doing with that. Like I still like doing beer reviews.
Yeah.
I do them while I'm live doing
Exactly.
gaming, you know,
There you
like,
go.
I
Yep.
can do it. I can do it
That's
any way I
right.
want. I don't have to
Exactly.
get into all the craziness. I just say this is a damn good beer. Get
Exactly.
really good
Yeah, you
notes.
still drink beer and whiskey and all that
Move the
stuff.
hell on.
You're not
Yeah. So I don't mess with it too
Monster, tell
much.
us about your channel, man.
Well,
You
now
do all
I'm
kinds of stuff on your channel.
Well, yeah. I'm
Not
probably
just
going
beer.
to be do some rebranding at some point. I've been doing the whole school thing, so I haven't been putting out as many videos as should. But now that that's over with, I should be coming out. Some more
Congratulations.
videos, a little bit rebranding. Thank you. I should get into more reviews. I wanted to start doing like hot sauce reviews, product reviews, food reviews. I mean, just kind of doing like just an odds and ends smorgasbord of stuff.
Just
But
reviews.
until then,
That's just be Lone Star reviews, not beer reviews, just Lone Star reviews.
yeah,
you go.
something. I'm gonna have to think of something pretty creative, but I'm gonna kind of do a whole week's worth of rebranding, so that way people will know who I am and what I just changed to. But I'm trying to do as much as I can. School kind of halted the process quite a bit, but this Saturday, I will shout out 'cause I think it's gonna be fun. So I graduate Saturday, and we'll be having a live.
Congrats. Cheers, everybody! Take a shot.
I gotta pour some more here. Hold on.
I'll
At
be
90
having
proof.
I'll
I
be
can do
having a
that.
live concert
It's not one of those bullshit graduations where you go from 8th grade to 9th grade. It's a real graduation, right?
Yeah, fifth to sixth.
Yeah.
Micah.
But I
You
will be
graduated
having-
from elementary school.
Promotion.
It's a
I
real
will be having a
graduation.
concert on
Diploma
Saturday
and
for my
everything.
graduation.
Bravo,
But
brother.
you're having the band?
I'm having the full band, so it's going to be Ray, Bajo, and the drummers.
What time is that on Saturday?
The 3-piece set. It is at 10 o'clock Central.
Oh, great. Perfect. I'll be sitting. Yeah, that's perfect.
So 11
o'clock
o'clock
here.
East Coast and 8 o'clock.
Kids will be in bed. What? Yeah, it'll be good. Yep, that's awesome. Cheers.
So yeah, I'm gonna.
It's gonna look like I'm texting somebody right now.
But yeah,
No
so
reason
after now I can
Yeah,
start kind
'cause-
of focusing on the YouTube.
Yeah, Joe's texting somebody because he's got 3 people up here who can definitely keep this thing rolling. How y'all doing, chat? How y'all doing?
That's
We got
right.
Twitch Star Late. We got Mictobus,
That's another reason why I wear the
Devil's Hour.
sunglasses, by the way.
Yeah,
Keeping
yeah.
it
Well,
neat.
I mean, here's the thing, Joe. If you're gonna do it with the phone, you gotta do it like this. Cause see, I can text, but it looks like I'm looking at y'all on the screen. I ain't looking at none of y'all assholes.
Hey, yeah, I'm an asshole. That's good. Andy's the asshole, not me.
But you guys plugged me into a community that helped elevate my channel from like 100-something subscribers.
It
all
isn't
the way to where
us.
we're at
It's not us. It's
It's the community.
Yeah,
It's
man.
The community.
y'all help plug me into it. I know it's not y'all because y'all would be like 4 people. I go from 125 to 129, but y'all help to elevate the whole channel.
That's awesome.
and help introduce me.
You're
to
part
a
of it, yeah.
community in the YouTube world, and where I wasn't just screaming my nonsense into a void. And now I'm doing dumb games.
Hey, there's Muscow.
Like
Yeah, but you're
this
trying
dumb
different
nonsense,
stuff though.
the
which is
other
good.
dumb nonsense that I do. Like that's pretty much my channel's brand. It's just dumb nonsense. Sponsored by the old Humble Distilling Company.
I want to see the old Humble Distillery. I want to see you in there working, Joe. I want to see you mixing these barrels, and I want to see you bottling, and I want to see that stuff, man.
I have all that footage, Todd. I have
Okay,
all that
good.
footage.
All right, come on, man.
Nice.
No
This is
comment.
shit that takes time.
I know. Hey, listen, you can't rush
August
genius.
and September because we're getting our internet plugged into
Christina,
the facility at
cheers,
the end of
Muscow.
July.
Mm.
So I'll be able to do live streams from the distillery. I'll be able to do like cook days from the distillery. Y'all want to see how exciting and fun a day in the life of distiller is? Boy, I'll turn that camera on at 9 o'clock and y'all will see the water
Nice.
boil
Beautiful.
all day long while I sit on a cot and take a nap.
I was gonna say the day in the life where
Hold on.
he's playing fetch with his dog while everything else is
Micah,
happening.
I don't know if this is appropriate, but Micah, I think it'd be a cool thing for you to go down there and show what the process of making whiskey is for your channel, Micah. I think that's a cool thing.
See, I don't know if that would. I mean, as far as like variety, random shit that I do, that'd be perfect for a vlog type situation. But I know that I couldn't do that to Joe without giving him the footage.
Okay,
where he
Joe
could have that on his channel.
There you go.
Where he could have that on his channel. So I would probably do two things. I would have a vlog of me going and doing this and be like, hey, go check out the video. I made it for Joe.
There you go. I still love
what a day in the life of a distiller is.
Beautiful.
And I'm sure it'd be a lot of shots of his dog and of me drinking whiskey like that.
Wally is the interesting one on those days. Now, usually, when we have the stills running, we're also doing bottling, we're also doing labeling, we're also doing filtering and other there's other stuff that layers in on top of it. We don't just do one thing each day.
Right.
But a lot of, there is. It's just like in any office. You go into an accounting office. They don't do accounting all day long.
Right.
They go get donuts and they screw around. In a real office, there's like in a 9-hour day, there's maybe 5 or 6 hours of maybe.
That's a normal office. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like the if you ever go to Old Humble, he's gonna put you to work. I did 100 bottles to get one. All right,
I can see that. Yeah.
You get put to work. Now, while you're there, you do get to try the cash streak.
Oh, sign me up! I'm there. Me and Andy are there. I'll bring Robot Scott. He's dying for that cash drink. Oh man.
That cash strength was.
I need to make my way down there. You're on about 4-hour drive or less. So,
Chad, that's a good video for you, man. I want to see a video. Put that stuff up, man. I'd love seeing that kind of stuff because I can't get there.
One of these days, I'll probably even do an angry dude in a car video while I'm doing a commute to Dallas or San Antonio or one of those.
Traffic hour.
I'm just not a big fan of ranting because, I don't get worked up over a lot of things. So it feels to me like it's performative and it's not like real. Like I'm not really. Like that dumbass with the blinker.
That's funny.
Damn it, the live stream, go.
You should have it on your phone because you can live stream from your phone and you could have the Old Humble traffic hour. And I think that it would be perfect. The Old Humble traffic hour rant would just be amazing.
Yeah.
Even if you don't typically rant for the video and it would just make it interesting.
Joe, there's plenty of stuff in this world that pisses you off, so just go for it.
Performative anger
performative anger is great. I have performative anger every time I play Warzone. That is
funny.
My performative anger. Or every
guys,
time that I'm on with Groovy.
Y'all want to hang out for our musical guest?
I'm here for it, man. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to reintroduce Jeff with a G. G, my man.
What up, Jeff?
Cheers, Jeff.
Cheers. Jeff, I think, Jeff, you introduced me to Ryan, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably. Like weird musicians in Houston, it's probably my fault. So that makes sense.
Oh, man. More of them?
Local.
There's more of them.
Actually, there's a lot of them.
Oh, there are a lot.
There are a lot.
We have this cool scene in Houston where it's not any one thing. You can go to Pasadena and it's a different audience than what's in Sharpstown, than what's in
Katy,
Springs, than what's in Humboldt, than what's in Katy, than what's in downtown. You can be and this is one of the things that the comedians talk about. You can get a different room every night of the week. A completely different room. If you're performing in Omaha, you have the same audience every day. But if
it's because Houston's bigger than Rhode Island, so
you love saying that.
He claims like it's like
different parts of the city,
heavenly or something.
What's that?
It is.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Different artists and different performers, and the different bands, and that's what's one of the great things about open mic nights. In different places, is you have just completely different artists, completely different vibes.
But Austin and Dallas are big musical
things. It's very much like the way Austin is, where it's this melting pot of bands that kind of comes in. But Houston is less. I don't know the way to describe it. It's like less.
I would say Houston's more of a melting pot than Austin or Dallas is because you have all of that here. Yes.
It's more unfinished performers who are coming to hone their skill, and then they take it elsewhere, and you can get them when they're raw and good and fantastic. But this next guy that we have coming in is none of that. He's fucking.
He's just awful.
He's coming off of his.
No, he's amazing. No.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you said awful. I was very concerned.
No. Yeah.
No.
It's dreadful.
All right. So this guy's literally one of my favorite people in the entire Houston music scene. So
and I'm
no
going to overhype him
legit.
so much, he's going to be embarrassed.
Yeah.
He was our date night performer for our Old Humble Date Night box. He was a performer last year for our Memorial Day show. He's coming fresh off of a super hyped Florida tour where he was like the icon. Like women were throwing each other's panties at him. He is the
What?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a show.
Did we just turn back to 1989? What are we doing here?
No, other women's panties. I don't know where that was. That Woodstock? I'm not sure where women threw other women's panties. I'm pretty sure that was Woodstock.
He's a great performer. He's a fun guy. I love just chatting with him in general. And now we're going to bring him up, and he's going to
like some panties.
hate me for embarrassing. But here's Ryan Adam Wells, ladies
Hey!
and gentlemen.
Hey guys, what's happening?
Ryan
What up? That's
Yeah.
the one and only. All right, so I'm relatively new to StreamYard, so I'm going to try and make Ryan.
Yeah, bring us down. Yeah,
Yeah.
bring us down. Let Ryan get it. You can
Okay,
take me
I'm gonna-
down, Joe.
I'm gonna-
Joe, I'm going to get in the chat and listen, brother.
There's the button that has
yeah.
the person and then has several people on the side. That's what you want.
Is it that one? No, but that's not doing
Try it.
Let me see if
I don't want to mess up any of this, so I'm going to drop out and be in the chat.
Hey, Ryan.
'Cause I am,
I'm here.
as Micah knew. There we
Hey,
go.
that's fine.
You knew that one. That one works.
All right.
Well, thank you for that overwhelming intro. Oh, now it's small again.
All right.
That's fine.
So what I'm going to
Whatever
do is
works.
I'm going to remove everyone else, and it's just going to be you, me, and Jeff. Guys,
go.
hang out in chat.
Sounds good.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Of course.
I truly appreciate it. You guys, I'm pushing the wrong buttons. I'm just pushing all the fucking buttons on my screen.
There you go.
I've had like 6 drinks, and I am deep in the ciders. Did I tell you about my drink, Jeff and Ryan, the Slip It in Cider that I picked up on a Bangladeshi steamer that
Oh, my.
were running through the Indian Ocean back in the late 1600s?
Well,
It's a commemoration of the events that happened on the deck of the ship because, you know, it was fantastic. Anyway.
I'm just drinking a Frankenberry inspired beer from Ingenious Brewing here in Houston.
Dude.
Genius is great.
Shop.
Yeah, I love them. They're one of my favorites. But they do every Halloween they release beers based on Frankenberry, Blueberry, and Count Chocula, and Fruit Brute, like all those old and Yummy Mummy, those old cereals with the monsters on them. So I still had a can of the Frankenberry left in my fridge. So
Thanks for repping a different company on my podcast. Appreciate that, Ryan.
I got my whiskey on my shelf. I'll go grab it.
You should go grab it. I'm just saying.
I love you, man. You're the best. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you the screen. I'm gonna be over here and listen. And dude, you've got this. It's your screen. It's your show.
Rock and roll.
I'll be in chat. You'll see. I don't know if you'll see me on the screen, but I'll be here.
Cool. I see. I see. I can look at the comments or the chat, but not both. So I will have to choose. I'll go back and forth.
You want the private chat is that's just us talking.
Cool.
You're gonna want to see the comments because that's the people.
Of course, yeah.
giving you all the love.
I'll hop back and forth if I need to. But yeah. Sweet.
And I'm gonna mute my microphone and Jeff's as well, and knock it out of the park, brother.
Hell yeah! Thanks for having me.
Brothers and sisters, Ryan Adam Wells, the amazing, incomparable artist of the night. Knock it out of the park, brother.
Hell yeah! Thanks for having me. I'm very, very indebted to Old Humble for bringing me on tonight. I love their whiskey, and I love Joseph, and I love all the people in the chat. Thanks for being here. My name is Ryan Adam Wells. I'm going to play some songs. Probably going to do all originals. If there's an original of mine that you really want me to play, feel free to drop it in the comments if you know my stuff. If not, I'm just going to play stuff. So here we go. song's called You Break Me. I lost the book you gave me, I put it in my drawer, but it disappeared when I left you. It must have melted right through the floor, like you did. All right through the damn floorboards. What have I done? I done you wrong me with those words. I never lied to you. No, I only broke your heart, and I always tried to do my best when we were apart. Now what do you become? It stings my face and bends my knees because I hurt you. You break me. You break me. You break me. Maybe it was wrong of me to let you fall so hard. Maybe I was wrong to see you as a house of cards, too tedious to work on, too frail to face a breeze. And the deck would not stay standing because the jacks were up my sleeves. And I never lied to you. No, I only broke your heart, and I always tried to do my best when we were apart. Now what do you become? It stings my face and bends my knees because I hurt you. You break me, you break me, you break me. God, you're breaking me. I never thought you'd have this much control. God, you're breaking me. I just can't stand to hear you say you don't believe in love no more, 'cause I never lied to you. No, I only broke your heart, and I always tried to do my best when we were apart. Now what do you become? It stings my face and bends my knees because I hurt you. Oh, I never lied to you. No, I only broke your heart, and I always tried to do my best when we were apart. And now what do you become? It stings my face and bends my knees because I hurt you. You break me. You break me. You break me. All right, that's an original tune called You Break Me. Hey, everybody. Glad to see some familiar faces in the chat from my Twitch stream, which will be coming back soon. I'll be talking about that soon. And for the strangers, hello. Good to have you. Thanks for being here. My name is Ryan Adam Wells. I see some requests. Call Me, Rovers, the Fuck You song. Fuck You song's hard to do without a live audience, but maybe I'll give it a shot. We'll see what we can do. And yeah, I'll definitely do Rovers. I'll definitely do Dry Soil. I'll definitely do what's the other one? Call Me? Sure. I'll get to them. We got time, y'all. We got time. Thanks for being here. Old Humble Distilling Company is an amazing whiskey distiller here in Houston, Texas. If you haven't had their whiskey, what are you doing? Get on it. Unless you don't drink. I understand. That's fine. But if you do drink, go get you some. It's so easy to go get. And you're supporting local, which I'm all about supporting local. Listening to me is supporting local too, so thanks for doing that. This is an original song called Love Me Again. Well, her voice rang out like I was breaking on the floor of a bar somewhere in the summer Georgia heat. The kind of place where you gotta swim through the air to reach the exit just to let the concrete burn your feet. I don't think she'll ever love me again, and I don't know if I care. I don't think she'll ever love me again. I'll sing it to my beer and I'll drink the music again. Hey! We lost the magic somewhere across state lines, in Texarkana and a rundown Motel 6. We tried to use our love to ease our worried minds, but there's too many things that even love can't fix. I don't think she'll ever love me again, and I don't know if I care. I don't think she'll ever love me again. I'll sing it to my beer and I'll drink the music again. Hey! Hey, this ain't nothing. Hey, just another long shot gone. We played our cards just fine. Come on, the house wins every time. I don't think she'll ever love me again. I don't know if I care. I don't think she'll ever love me again. I'll sing into my beer and bring the chorus back in. I said I don't think she'll ever love me again. I don't know if I care, and I don't think she'll ever love me again. I'll sing into my beer and drink the music in. I'll sing into my beer and I'll drink the music in. Well, her voice rang out like bottles breaking on the floor of a bar somewhere in the summer Georgia heat. The kind of place where you gotta swim through the air to reach the exit just to let the concrete burn your feet. All right, it's an original tune called Love Me Again. Oh, Kelly. It's my good friend Keita Wolf. Yeah, that was your first whiskey because you got the date night package featuring moi. That was great. I'm happy you did that. Thanks. I know that Joe and Humble is very happy that you did that as well. All right. Thanks. Okay. I'm looking down the chat here. Okay. Capo. Using my powers to summon a cape. Thank you. All right. Okay, we're going to get to those requests in just a second here. First up, I like to write about lots of things. I try to, I've been called by many reviewers country music for people that hate country music. I like to think of myself as nerdy folk music. Like half of my stuff is like nerdcore folk and the other half is like punk rock country. So whichever side you veer towards, by all means, lean away. This is a nerdy song, though. This is a little song I wrote about Google Earth and love. It's called Gravity. There's a satellite that looks down on the house we used to live in. You can zoom in on the people and the things we left behind. There's a satellite that looks down on the house we view. The satellite from just like me, it can't see what's going on inside. I can't figure you out, I'm so dense, so I'm like a dying star. Past tense of burning bright, just burning hot. I can't stop, I know it's not enough to safely view your atmosphere in. Gravity always wins. There's a way you smile at me that's like a smile I know forever. It confounds me some because it's not one that I can place her name. And there's a way you let me hold you that confounds me even further because you're not holding me back. I'm new to this game. I can't figure you out, I'm so dense, so I'm like a dying star. Past tense of burning bright, just burning hot. I can't stop, I know it's not enough to safely reel your atmosphere in. Oh, and gravity always wins. Hey, you make me blurry, warm and shaky like a good heart attack. I roll with the tremors, roll with the tremors. The words I try out hit the air and turn to laughing gas, and it drowns out my tenor, drowns out my tenor. I forget what I'm doing, I give in to the fun. When it finally comes back to me, then I'm back to square one. And I can't out. I'm so dense, so I'm like a dying star. Past tense of burning bright, just burning hot. I can't stop, I know it's not enough to safely reel your atmosphere in. Oh, gravity always, gravity always, gravity always, gravity always, gravity always, gravity always. Ah, gravity always wins. All right. That tune's called Gravity. And yes, it is very nerdy. Hey, a tip just came in. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Edmund. You were the best. I love a tip that in the note has my own song lyric in it. That's fantastic. Yeah, my friend Edmund sent me a tip with "Concrete Burn Your Feet." It's a lyric from Love Me Again, which I played a little earlier. Thanks, appreciate that very much. Thanks. If you want to tip, my Venmo is scrolling across the screen. That's super appreciated because I'm really broke. This is all I'm doing right now is music, and it ain't lucrative. It's good. It's good. It's not bad. I'm not on the street, but I would very much appreciate any help. And if you don't have Venmo, just put @gmail.com on the end of that, and that's my username on everything else. Super easy. All right, by request. I got a request for this song. This is a song I wrote about 3 different people. That's not true. It was 3 different songs about 3 different people. I was writing 3 separate songs, and I couldn't finish any of the 3 songs. So I got into some beers one night, and I shoved them all together. Shoved them all together into one song and threw in some Shakespeare for good measure, and it worked. So apologies to those 3 people for not getting a full song. Well, they'll never know. It's fine. That is called Call Me. That song is called Call Me by request. Thank you for asking for it. I think it was Kelly that asked for it. Yeah, appreciate that. Kita. Oh, some more tips coming in. I appreciate you guys. That's so great. Thank you very much. Thank you to Lauren. And thank you, Joseph, for paying me. Hey, yeah, more song lyrics. I love it. I like people putting song lyrics in the tip note. That's great. Thank you. Little lyric from that song I just played. Tyler, thanks. Appreciate it. Tyler's just says music, which is also, that's good too. That's accurate. That's an accurate note. Derek, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Jeff, buddy, thanks. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm down. All right, moving right along. We got more songs to get to, so we're going to do these. Yes, I do have a whiskey song. Thank you for pointing that out. It would be a shame not to play that tonight, wouldn't it? It's almost like I had that in the plans, possibly. Yeah, I'll play whiskey in a little bit for sure. I'll have to get my whiskey from the bookshelf before doing that, which I'll have to run. You'll see me running first. Oh, Savvy, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love you too. I love all you guys. Thanks for being here and listening. All right, another request. My friend Tyler here requested this song. This is a newer tune. It's called Dry Soil. I remember the first time that I saw you. Your smile stretched from one end of the room into my heart. And I remember the first time that you saw me. Your eyes shone with a knowing look that we were soon to start. You twirled the dyed blue ends of your dark hair. You didn't shy away from my stare. We embraced for a few moments longer than we should. I'd have sworn on my own grave right then I'd always feel that good. And we went down into the depths of what we wanted. And around everything we should have said. The love we found wasn't earned. We tried to flaunt it. Maybe we deserved to spoil. We were buried in dry soil. And I remember it was hard to leave your apartment. Outside we had to face too many truths. And I remember the first time that you cried in my arms. You shook with honest revelation, and I knew that I loved you. Our hearts were snowy hills and we were kids. We didn't fall in love, no, we slid. Blitzing Trapper's fur came on. You said, I think you'd like this song. Your smile was solid gold. So I lied and said I did, and we went down into the depths of what we wanted, and around everything we should have said. The love we found wasn't earned. We tried to flaunt it. Maybe we deserved to spoil. We were planted in dry soil. We were saying one thing and doing another, doing that thing and meaning something else. What we meant found the way to mean the other. We had no control. We burned right through our souls, and we went down into the depths of what we wanted, and around everything we should have said. The love we found wasn't earned. We tried to flaunt it. Maybe we deserved to spoil. And we went down into the depths of what we wanted, and around everything we should have said. The love we found wasn't earned. We tried to flaunt it. Maybe we deserved to spoil. We were planted in dry soil. Maybe we deserved to spoil. We were planted in dry soil. All right. Thanks for the request. I love that tune. Appreciate you asking for that, Tyler. Keita, thanks for the tip. And I've missed this. I've missed playing for y'all. Thanks for being here. Happy to be doing it. For those that don't know, all through the pandemic, I was streaming every single day from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Twitch. And a lot of the people here in the comments are my stream pals, people that were present at most of the streams. I really appreciate you guys being here for this too. I did take some time off for various reasons, both from being too busy and being too mentally unwell. But I'm working on getting back, and I'm going to be making an announcement in that regard pretty soon. I'm figuring out what the best combination is for me to still see you guys often and play for you. So that will be coming back in some capacity pretty soon. All right, this is another newer song. Stream pals, you know this one. Anyone else that's listening? This is a song that I wrote after getting into a discussion online about how in the hell Chris Christopherson was still alive when the rest of the Highwaymen no longer. Well, Willie's still around, but Chris Christopherson lives so hard, you know. Yes, my Facebook pay is set up. You can pay me through Facebook, totally. That works like PayPal, so yeah, totally. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you want to pay me on Facebook, that's fine too. That works. I've got that all hooked up. So yeah. But this is a song I wrote about that. The person I was talking to suggested that perhaps Christopherson had been taking vampire cocaine, and I thought that was great. And I'm like, I'm going to use that for a song. So I did. This song's not about Christopherson. It's about something else entirely. But it's called Vampire Cocaine. Hope you like it. You and I both were little broken experiments. We each held the flame a while, and neither one cares where it went. The water's at our ankles now, and we splash carefully. Our feelings are on lockdown, but the laughter is still free. What keeps you young is loaded in this gun. I point it straight at your heart and pull the trigger. It might be fun, we might lose everyone. It's a gamble, but it's worth it, we both figure. Let's do one more run. My number one. Your love is vampire cocaine, and I'm a midnight sun. We both left Sunday school with questions never asked before. Fancy books and satin cloaks don't mean too much for us, the poor who worship at the local pub with its golden liquor hoard.
throwing around hearts like barroom darts, whose face is on the board. What keeps you young is loaded in this gun. I point it straight at your heart and pull the trigger. It might be fun, we might lose everyone. It's a gamble, but it's worth it, we both figure. Let's do one more run. My number one. Your love is vampire cocaine, and I'm the midnight sun. Oh, it won't be easy, no, I don't think it should. So pass that Riesling and get up here on this hood. We're just two young thieflings with hearts of wood. Ain't nobody know we're out for blood. What keeps you young is loaded in this gun. I point it straight at your heart and pull the trigger. It might be fun, we might lose everyone. It's a gamble, but it's worth it, we both figure. Let's do one more run. My number one. Your love is vampire cocaine, and I'm a midnight sun. Your love is vampire cocaine, and I'm a midnight sun.
Right, it's an original tune called Vampire Cocaine. Thank you. Thank you very much for the tip, Cloud. Appreciate that. Very nice. Thank you. I see it. Vampire cocaine sounds awesome. I don't know. Regular cocaine sounds too rough for me. I don't know about adding an extra wrinkle. I think maybe isn't a great choice for me. I'll stick with the booze. Thank you for the nice words about 500 list, Jeff. I appreciate that. That's very nice. Yeah, the 500 list is my original musical, one-man musical storytelling show about a road trip I took with my best friend in 2008, where we listened to each other's 500 favorite songs of all time. There will be a way for people to watch that. It just finished as a part of the Digital Fringe in Orlando. You could have watched it last 2 weeks. It's your chance if you didn't see it. But there will be a way for everybody to see it very soon. I'm working on that. So stay tuned to all my channels and all my social medias, and you'll find out when you can watch that. I'm very proud of it. Okay, so now we got... Gonna move on down. So, okay, we're at the halfway point in the show. Halfway point. We got Rovers, which we're gonna do near the end. I know how we're gonna finish things out. I got that in my brain already. So we're inching towards that now. We did have a request for the whiskey song, which is gonna happen, and then also for the fuck you song. Jeff wants to hear the fuck you song. Now, the fuck you song is gonna be tricky to do without. Thank you, Savvy. Appreciate that. It's going to be tricky to do this without an audience.
Hey, Ryan.
I'm going to try it.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah?
Can I interrupt you?
What's that?
Hey, I want to interrupt you for just a second. Hey,
sure.
There's Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Hey.
Hey.
My lights are all off, and I'm wearing my normal people eyes. Hang on a second.
Professional right here.
Yeah, I do this. I don't do this for a living. I make whiskey. This bottle, where the hell did the bottle go? Here it is. This bottle is a bottle that I'm going to be giving away next week of whiskey. Our 99th episode was supposed to be last week, but this dude took over our channel for a day.
That's right.
So we didn't have the 99th episode last week. Our 99th episode is going to be next week.
Okay.
1 week after the 100th episode. It makes sense if you don't think about it.
It's drunken logic. It's drunken logic.
We were going to give away this bottle last week, but we're going now to give it away next week on the 99th episode. And one cool thing about this bottle is that we marked it on the 8th episode or 97th. I can't remember. But I've done shit to it since then. You can see this. This is the second ever bling bottle that we've ever made. It's full of glitter and it is gorgeous. My wife called it the Phantom bottle. Next week, we're giving this away. We're going to add the Wheel of Fate. Anybody who makes a comment during the show gets added to the Wheel of Fate, that we spin it somewhere around the 30-minute mark, and we give away the bottle of whiskey. Does that not sound like a fucking awesome show?
Sounds pretty
amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
sounds pretty awesome.
I would think that would be the kind of show that people would sell their kids to get to, just to make sure they can be on it and not be distracted by their little monsters that they have in the house.
It's fine. I will sell my kids to do that.
And I can say that because our legal advisor isn't on the show to tell me not to say that.
Oh, she's scared of me. That's what it is. She's scared of me.
Ryan, you're doing awesome. Thank you for letting me interrupt you.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Please, that's
Ladies
great.
and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, don't forget, subscribe to our channel. Come back next week. Kelly specifically asked how often I stream. I stream once a week, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. And it's generally nonsense like this. But sometimes it's a special show like this one, the 100th episode. And sometimes it's a very special show like our 99th episode, which will be next week. Sometimes it was special like our 99th episode, which was last week. And I promised at the beginning of the show that I was going to get sloppy drunk. I'm well on my way to that point.
Yeah, approaching it.
Challenge accepted.
I'm about probably 3 more Slip It Insiders away from being.
Oh, hey, talk for like 2 more seconds, and I'll go get my Old Humble whiskey.
Oh, there you go. That's what.
So Ryan's going to go do this thing. Let me tell you about the first time me and Ryan kissed.
It's not nearly as interesting the time me and him did, so it's fine.
That didn't stop him and make him come back to the show. Okay, so let me tell you the story behind the Slip It Insider. So I was hiking along the coast of California. This was a goal of mine to go from the southern tip of California to the northern tip of California. And for people who don't know, California has tips. There's one down here and one up here. And I met this girl,
one on the bill.
I met this girl named Janet, and it turns out that she was a robot. No, take that back. She wasn't a robot. She was a infinitely knowledgeable creature who organized the neighborhood where I lived. And it also turns out that I was dead. And I was in the afterlife, but I was also in the bad place, not the good place. And I figured it out about 80 days into it. And that pissed off the architect, whose name was Michael. And he insisted that we continuously redo this thing. And long story short, it redefined how heaven works. We reorganized the entire afterlife. It was fantastic. And the reason it's called the Slip It Insider is because Janet worked on, she worked with internal hard drives and stuff. But the way you got rid of her was by taking a small piece of wire and sticking it in her ear, slipping it inside her, and then she turned into a marble. So there you go. That is why we made the Slip It Insider, to commemorate the death of the last Janet. And that is a true story that I actually
made up. That's a true story you made up. All right, great.
It is a true story that I actually lived in my life.
I actually will tell you a real true story of me and Ryan there. So I currently live in Austin, and today's my last day in Austin. But when I lived in Houston, my last night in Houston, I spent with this man, and we hit 2 or 3 bars, got really way too drunk. Well, at least he got way too drunk. So it was a great time. So me and Ryan, so that's why I went for people in Houston, how many watching this, I'll be in Houston tomorrow as I make my way from Austin up to New York City. So,
and for those of you who don't know, New York City is north of Austin.
It's very north,
south and east. It's north. I'm sorry. New York is north and east. Houston is south and east. So Jeff is not exactly going in a straight line.
No, I get a lot of people to visit on the south side, like New Orleans and Florida and Atlanta. So I'm doing the East Coast tour of hanging out with a bunch of weirdos. So,
cool.
But it's a good thing because the path less traveled is oftentimes beset with snakes. I don't know. Where was I going?
I know more people going that way than I do going a straight line. So that's why I did it that way. So.
Well, there you go. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, DK, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
hey, Ryan.
Yeah,
Would you like to finish your show?
let's finish it. I appreciated the chats, guys, and let me go grab my whiskey too.
Yeah,
And
would you
also-
like me to quit interrupting you?
In the time that it took me to go get the whiskey and all of us to chat, I filled out the rest of my set because I got a bunch
There
more.
you go.
So
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're set. We're set for the rest of the show. Yeah.
So one more time, everybody who's watching, all 6 of you, or 12, whatever, however many. This bottle, we will unveil it later on this week in some live shows that I do on et cetera, et cetera. This is the second ever bling bottle that we have made. We will be giving this away. I promise you, it is not shedding glitter. See, no glitter being shed. I do this shit right. And we will give this bottle away, and it will be delivered to somebody who watches our next show, episode 99. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, the incomparable Ryan Adam Wells.
Thanks, Joseph. Appreciate you. Hey, so I went and got the whiskey, so I'm going to do the whiskey song now. Let's do it. So
I'm trying to push the right button. Sorry.
It's okay, man. If I got to play as a little head, we'll do that.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry. I'm trying. I'm not good at this production thing. Jesus Christ. Hang on. I'm working on it. I just remove it.
Oh, there he goes. So if you got some whiskey, preferably old distillery whiskey, drink some for this song. This is the whiskey song. Hope you like it. Well, I drink my bourbon with Coca-Cola to make it last all night. To make it last all night. And I drink my bourbon with Sprite and bitters for a hillbilly high. For a hillbilly high. And I drink my bourbon on the rocks. So the ladies get hot. To make the ladies get hot. And I drink my bourbon from the bottle. 'Cause it satisfies every thirst that I got. Sing me a song or write a note. Leave me a message on my phone. Tell me that you're gone in a letter. Whiskey makes everything better. A nice glass of scotch in the morning helps my coffee seem like it's twice as strong. A nice glass of scotch in the afternoon, 'cause that peaty flavor makes my day move along. A nice glass of scotch in the evening helps me to choke down these cold pork and beans. A nice glass of scotch before I lay down ensures that you won't enter my dreams. Sing me a song or write a note. Leave me a message on my phone. Tell me that you're gone in a letter. Whiskey makes everything better. All of my best friends, Jack, Johnny, Jameson, and Jim, Evan, Doers, Crown, 10 High, or Crow. They've done me better than any woman I've ever known. No. Sing me a song or write a note. And leave me a message
much on my phone. Tell me that you're gone in a letter. Whiskey makes everything better. Oh, sing me a song or write a note. Leave me a message on my phone. Oh, no, Lord, now tell me that you're gone, Lord, in a letter. Whiskey makes everything better. Whiskey makes everything better. Whiskey makes everything better. All right, that's for you, Old Humble Whiskey. Thank you so much for having me, Joseph. Appreciate you. Hey, look at the chat filling up with my good buddy David Sheehan. Yes, the best man at your wedding did bring you a bottle of Old Humble. Yes. Stream pals, people that have watched my stream regularly may recognize David's name as the writer of Dear Kate, which I play regularly on the stream. There's that celebrity in our midst, y'all. All right, moving along. Gonna keep playing. As I said, over the course of that halfway point break, we filled out the rest of the set. So the set's planned. So requests are, if you request, I maybe I'll still squeeze it in, but probably not, because I think we're full up with the list now. And this one right here. I don't know what you're talking about, Keto Wolf. All right, this song's called Phantoms. You can find this streaming on any streaming platform that you search for it. It's out there. It's on Spotify, whatever. I did record a new EP in Orlando that will be coming out very soon. It has Call Me on it and a couple other songs. It's going to be a lot of fun, so look for that. She said, I'm phantom now. It spread to my eye. And I didn't know if she meant the bruise or the pain. If you're coming down, my ghost, let me help you on the rise. My blood is made of, laced with your cocaine. Spent the last 6 years thinking about all that I've done wrong. Way more beers than that, listening to Bob Dylan songs. I can't write about cigarettes, Lord, it's clear that I don't smoke. My dancer deserve better than some half-hearted joke. I don't need to sleep much like you do. I don't need to speak much to get to the truth. And I don't keep much on me to remind me that you're gone. Except for 3 cassette tapes, 7 songs, and a Spectre in green cloth. Well, I pulled out the pen, I left you standing there alone. You were right outside my door with dynamite in hand. Oh, being in Indiana always feels like coming home. But every time my feet hit Texas dirt, I'm reborn as a new man. I don't need to sleep much like you do. I don't need to speak much to get to the truth. And I don't keep much on me to remind me that you're gone. Except for 3 cassette tapes, 7 songs, and a Spectre in green cloth. Oh, you tried to fade away off into the realm of ghosts. Well, I know 100 ghosts. They all tell me you're not one. I know 100 ghosts. They all tell me you're not one. Oh, see, if you had crossed over, I would absolutely know. Phantoms, they shine darkly. You're brighter than the sun. I don't need to sleep much like you do. I don't need to speak much. Lord, I know the truth, and I don't keep much on me to remind me that you're gone. Except for 3 cassette tapes, 7 songs, and a specter in green cloth. 3 cassette tapes, 7 songs, and a specter in green cloth. 3 cassette tapes, 7 songs, and a specter in green cloth. She said, I'm phantom now. It spread to my eye. Alrighty, check on this chat here. Hey, Moose Scow's Corner, I'm glad you're having fun on this episode. Thank you so much. Glad you guys like fandoms. Thank you. All right. We got like 4 more songs. 5, 4. I don't know. We'll figure it out as I go.
Nope.
What's up?
Sorry.
Oh, hey, Joseph. What's happening, man?
Sorry, I'm just pushing buttons. Carry on.
Do you need anything? Love you. All right, we got a request for beers about songs. Let's do that. This is the opening track to my first musical storytelling show, and it does have a toast in it. So if you got a glass, raise it up. We'll do the little toast to kick things off. We are gathered here at the Church of Beer, in spite of all of our doubts and fears, to lift up our glasses and drink while we can. A glass for every woman and man. A glass for our sisters, a glass for our mothers, a glass for the lost ones, and a glass for the others. A glass for the loner, a glass for the rebel, a glass for the Lord, and a glass for the devil. A glass for the ones that got away, and 2 for the ones that chose to stay. Cheers. Let's raise a glass for the workers. Raise a glass for the bosses. Raise a glass for our wins. Pour one out for our losses. Raise a glass for good friends. Raise a glass for our foes. Just raise a glass for whatever. That's the way this life goes. Bring me a beer. Help me get my head clear. Oh, a cold pint of lager ought to help me forget you, dear. An ale for what ails me, to keep me stout and strong. I'll be up all night long, singing beers about songs, drinking till your memory's gone. Yeah, I'll be drinking till I drink every drop. Drinking till my body or the cops make me stop. Drinking myself blind till I can finally see. Drinking 1 for you and 3 for me. If you're here for the beer, if you're here for the wine, if you're here for the whiskey, tequila, salt and the lime. If you're here for the music, if you're just here for some ass, hell, if you're here to get drunk and forget, come on and raise your glass. Hey, bring me a beer. Help me get my head clear. Oh, a cold pint of lager ought to help me forget you, dear. An ale for what ails me, to keep me stout and strong. And I'll be up all night long, singing beers about songs, drinking till your memory's gone. Hey, I'll be up all night long, singing beers about song. Wow, wow, wow. And I'll be drinking till your memory's gone. All right, it's Beers About Songs. Janet, I'm also here for the tequila. Thank you. Although tonight it's whiskey. I'm doing whiskey tonight. So this next tune, it's kind of a 180 from the last couple. I am, full disclosure, I am getting ready to start a medication soon that will make me unable to consume alcohol for a while. So this is one of my last hurrahs tonight for a little bit. I'm going to be going sober for a bit because I have to. Not super excited about it, but I'm going to do it because health is important. Anyway, this song is kind of about the opposite of those last few songs and about the dangers of consuming too much and what can happen when that happens. Honestly, COVID took it out of me. I can't binge drink anymore anyway ever since I had COVID. So I'm down to like a glass a night if I do drink. So this feels more like me now anyway. This song's called Cheap Shot. Thank you for the high praise, guys. Well, she didn't necessarily put him out. She didn't tell him to come home. And his petty vagueness mingled with his boastful pride is how he wound up on the stool all alone. He took a cheap shot of tequila, then he took a couple more. He took a cheap shot at the bartender, found himself tossed out the door with his tab still open and his keys behind the bar. And no idea where he left his car. And if his solution's drowning in liquor, moving slow till his blood runs thicker. His eyes turn from brown to black. Whoa, you ain't never gonna get her back. Well, she didn't necessarily think about everything that she was throwing away. But her feeble attempts to leave a voicemail found that she didn't have a thing to say. She took a weak shot at forgiveness. It didn't go down too smooth. Yeah, she thought she could beat this, but there ain't a damn thing she can do. 'Cause her tab is still open, and that's her only credit card. She drank too much at the Dollar Wells. She can't get back in the bar. Not if her solution's drowning in liquor, moving slow till her blood runs thicker. And her eyes turn from brown to black. Whoa, whoa, she ain't never gonna get him back. Whoa, 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 she ain't never gonna get him back. Whoa, whoa, he ain't never gonna get her back. Whoa, 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 they ain't never gonna get it back. Not if their solution's drowning in liquor, moving slow till their blood runs thicker. Oh, their eyes turn from brown to black. Whoa, whoa, they ain't never gonna get it back. Whoa, 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 they ain't never gonna get it back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, that's Cheap Shot by request for Ariel Celeste. Okay, Jeff, we're going to try it, okay? Jeff wanted to hear the Fuck You song. And as I said earlier,
I don't know how to do the fuck you song without an audience. But we're gonna test it out here, okay? So the way this works, at about the middle way point through the song, there's an audience participation bit. Doing audience participation over Zoom and streaming and StreamYards and all that stuff is all a little tricky, clearly. So what's going to happen is during the song, I want you to go ahead and I have an audience of twos. There are 2s and 3s out there. Yes. During the song, in the chat, drop anything that you want me to say fuck you to. And during the bridge, just at home, along with me, scream fuck you to it when we do that part. It's very easy. You'll see it. I'll explain it when we get there. So for my good friend Jeff, this is the fuck you song. That's a great one to start with, old Humble. Thank you. Well, we met at the bar. Our first date was a show. We liked all the same shit. We knew all the same folks, yeah. Seemed we'd been thrown together by some punk rock cupid. Buddy, you had hate in your heart that soon became clear. You always wanted to fight. I sure as hell wouldn't steer. See, you thought we were Sid and Nancy, but we were just stupid. You left me high and dry. I promise you that I don't need a damn thing like that in my life. So let's all sing a fuck you song and we'll tell the whole world what they're doing wrong. We'll clap our hands, we'll stomp our feet, we'll let out a joyful yell. When we sing our little fuck you song, we'll get the whole damn world to sing along. We'll tell all them stupid bastards to go to hell. Well, we ruled this town with a rockabilly rain. From the swivel in your hips to the blue in my jeans. Yeah, our regime was strong, but now look at what has befell this. Because you left me alone with our castle in the sand. You kicked it all up in my face with your heels as you ran. You called me the king of nothing, but I do a mean Elvis. Honey, don't be through. He found someone new. If he gives you some burning love, you deserve that too. So let's all sing a fuck you song and we'll tell the whole world what they're doing wrong. We'll clap our hands, we'll stomp our feet, we'll let out a joyful yell. When we sing our little fuck you song, we'll get the whole damn world to sing along. We'll tell all the stupid bastards to go to hell. All right, this is the audience participation part. It's a lot easier live, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it anyways. Okay, so I'm looking at your comments now. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna say one of the things that you said to say fuck you to, and you at home, where I show you where to say it, will say fuck you. We're all gonna say it together though. That's the thing. We're joining together because we're Americans. We can't afford therapy, so we're gonna have therapy together. So know that all tens of these people that are watching the stream right now are saying fuck you to the thing that you want to say fuck you to, along with you, right? It's gonna be very satisfying. So we're gonna start off with Old Humble Guy's first one, which I think is absolutely perfect. It's Greg Abbott, the worst person in Texas. Hey, Greg Abbott! Fuck you! Now somebody go back after the fact and edit down to just that clip. Let's make that go viral. Turn it into a GIF. All right, next up, for my dear friend up in Fresno, we're gonna say fuck you to Johnny Ray. So everybody, come on. Hey, Johnny Ray! Fuck you! Seriously, fuck that guy. I'm kidding. David Sheehan. Oh, what a good one. This is a great one. Hey, humans not being able to talk to dogs! Fuck you! That seems like a real wasted opportunity. It's true. Oh yeah, COVID. We gotta say fuck you to COVID. Come on, everybody. Hey, COVID-19! Fuck you! Hopefully we're done with you for a bit. Speaking of being done with somebody for a bit, hey, Donald Trump! Fuck you and your lasting damage to our nation, you piece of shit. God damn it. Oh yeah. Oh god, so many. Good, I love this. We're gonna keep going. Hey, the American healthcare system! Fuck you! Thank you, DK. I needed that one today. Hey, self-doubt! Fuck you! Oh, I wish that worked. Just getting rid of self-doubt like that would be great. Thanks, DK. Hey, that thing that we don't want to talk about! Fuck you! That's what he asked for, yeah. Okay. We did U.S. healthcare. We did that. We got it. Oh, perfect. This is a nice one. DK, perfect. DK is just coming at it. We got so many. Hey, the U.S. addiction to fossil fuels! Fuck you! Yeah, you know what? While we're at it, fuck the other 18 COVIDs. You're right. Hey, the other 18 COVIDs! Fuck you! Don't come for us like that. Come on. Oh, Moose Gal. Yeah, I got you. Moose Gal, this is a good one to end on because that is very appropriate for me. So this will be our last one, and we'll get back to the song. So everybody say a big fuck you to anxiety because that's been controlling my goddamn life for too long. Hey, anxiety! Fuck you! Okay. All right, hope everybody feels better. Let's get back to the song. You might want me back, but you stole my cat. She actually did steal my cat. No, okay, it's fine. I'm over it. I give you 2 guesses to the 2 words on my doormat. So let's all sing a fuck you song, and we'll tell the whole world what they're doing wrong. We'll clap our hands, we'll stomp our feet, we'll let out a joyful yell when we sing our little fuck you song. We'll get the whole damn world to sing along. We'll tell all them stupid bastards to go to hell. Hey, we'll tell all them stupid, lying, cheating, no good, miserable bastards to go to hell. Oh, I'm glad you feel better, DK. Thanks. Yeah. It's just a little group therapy session. Thanks for helping me with that, guys. It's not so bad doing it without an audience, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. All right, we got one more tune, gang. One last little song for y'all. Thank you so much for being here. Keita Wolf, yeah, you can all say fuck you to Sarah, by all means. You always can, of course. I appreciate you all so much for listening. And Joe, Old Humble, I appreciate you guys so much for having me on. It was a pleasure and an honor, and I love it. And thank you for my whiskey, and I will enjoy it. And then I will pack it up, and I will drink more of it once this medication is done, once that happens. So, yeah. Thanks for being here, gang. I missed this. It's been lovely chatting with everybody and seeing everybody. I'm going to get back to it soon. I will let you know. If you are in Houston, my band, The Morning Shakes, we're coming back. We're doing a show. We got a show coming up. It'll be on July 3rd in the evening, late evening, probably 9 o'clock or later. We're going to be playing at Lone Pine Brewery. So you can come see The Morning Shakes. We'll be playing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Talk to me about it. I'll tell you when. I'm also playing a show at BFE Rock Club in August on Friday the 13th. Ooh. That's going to be a really, really big show. So if you want to come to that show, please talk to me. I'm selling tickets for it. I have to sell a certain amount of tickets to make sure I get my full set, but it's going to be a really, really fun show. So please talk to me, and let's get those tickets moving. It'll be a really fun night. Like a whole lot of us there. This will be the last song. This is the Fringe song. So my friends from Fringe, Lauren, DK, this is a song I wrote about Fringe and how much I love it and tour. And those of you that don't know what Fringe is, you don't have to. It's about tour. It's about being on the road and how much I wrote it at a time about how much I love it, and it's become about how much I miss it since COVID hit. But a lot of you on my stream pals have really loved this song, so I'm happy to play it for you. This is called The Rovers. And you can find this on Spotify too. You can find a live version I did of the Winnipeg Fringe in 2016. Well, we leave out of port more often than you think, and I sleep in my own bed way less than you'd believe. We leave our families behind for way too long, but the family we find on the road is so strong. We rove around, and hold on to what we found, what we found, what we found. We know when we hit the ground, hit the ground, hit the ground, we'll find home. Home is in the arms and the hearts and the eyes of the people that we find every time we arrive. New friends and old, silver and gold. Here's to the rovers, oh, here's to the road. We fill our venues up with seats, we fill our heads up with reviews, we fill our futons up with sheets, we fill our livers up with booze. On the fringes of sanity, on the edges of the earth, we'll say goodbye in Winnipeg, but I'll see you in Perth. We rove around, and hold on what we found, what we found, what we found. We know when we hit the ground, hit the ground, hit the ground, we'll find home. Home is in the arms and the hearts and the eyes of the people that we find every time we arrive. New friends and old, silver and gold. Here's to the rovers, oh, here's to the road. Come on, raise your glasses high. It's never goodbye, it's only see you next time. I couldn't lose you if I tried. To the folks we leave at home, you deserve so much love. Putting up with the distance, hell, putting up with us. But when you're bitten by the bug, it's so hard to let go. When you twist and you turn and you ache and you burn, waiting for the next show. We rove around, and hold on to what we found, what we found, what we found. We know when we hit the ground, hit the ground, hit the ground, we'll find home. Home is in the arms and the hearts and the eyes of the people that we find every time we arrive. New friends and old, silver and gold. We rove around, and hold on to what we found, what we found, what we found. We know when we hit the ground, hit the ground, hit the ground, we'll find home. Home is in the arms and the hearts and the eyes of the people that we find every time we arrive. New friends and old, silver and gold. Here's to the rovers, oh, here's to the road. Oh, here's to the rovers, oh, here's to the road. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Love y'all. Thank you very much for having me, Old Humble. And it was a lot of fun. Appreciate it. Come and see me.
Can you hear me clapping?
Oh no, I couldn't, but I felt it.
It's fucking awesome. You were fucking awesome.
Thanks,
let's bring in Jeff too. Dude, that was amazing. I thank you so much for coming on the show. I appreciate it. Thank you for being my musical guest. Thank you for closing out the show. It was, I think it's fair to say it was dope as hell.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the audience enjoyed it. Tell you what, if anybody wants to, how long you want to hang out, Ryan? You gotta roll out anywhere. You want to hang out?
I can't hang out too terribly long, but for a few minutes.
You can. I mean, roll out whenever you're ready. Just tell me you're ready to go, and we will bid you adieu. I got something in the mail today. Did I tell you all about my signature drink?
The
No,
lemonade.
you did not tell us your signature drink. Whatever is your signature drink?
I went down to Galveston one weekend, and Galveston is southeast of Houston on I-45.
True.
As you two know, because y'all have lived, or do live or have lived in Houston.
Yeah.
Galveston is down southeast of Houston, and there's a cruise ship port, Carnival and Royal and Princess, I think, is also there. Anyway,
Probably.
so I was there and I was hanging out about 15 years-ish ago. I met this chick. She was awesome. We were getting on the cruise ship together. I was married to my lovely wife. She was married to her fantastic, awesome, handsome, gorgeous, amazing husband, who would eventually become a whiskey mogul in the state of Texas.
Asshole.
But
Asshole.
that doesn't matter.
Yes.
So, like, we met in the parking lot, and we got on the ship together, and we convinced the cruise ship guys that I was from France, and she was I was Francois, she was Gigi, and every 5 years we get together and we have this cruise together, like as an anniversary to the first time we met in the parking lot of the Carnival Cruise port. And one of the drinks that we enjoyed on the ship was an apple cider and a shot of whiskey. But we didn't just have an apple cider and a shot of whiskey, because no. Milady certainly enjoyed her apple ciders, and I certainly enjoyed my shots of whiskey. So what would happen is she would get deep into her cups of cider, and I would get deep into my cups of whiskey. And later on in the night,
you would get deep in cider?
What would happen is the whiskey and the cider would kind of mix together, and we would have a little slippin' in cider.
That's right, yeah. There you go.
And that was just a fun time on the cruise. And we commemorate that meeting every 5 years. And that is almost entirely a true story. Almost entirely. Because I actually told that story on a cruise ship with a couple of friends. When we went on the cruise ship with a couple of friends, and I told that to the crew on the cruise ship while I was on stage, and my wife just about committed suicide. It was hilarious.
Knowing your wife, that sounds about accurate. So yes, that sounds like a true story.
I was from Orleans, and she was from Nice, and we had met, and we. Oh my God, it was a great story. It was I'll tell you all about it sometime.
All right, so like I'm looking in the chat, and like I know like David Sheehan is totally just trying to do a play to make sure Ryan gets fully supported. So Ryan, Ryan, how do we follow you on things like Spotify and other medias?
So I was super proactive and smart, and I got at Ryan Adam Wells on everything.
Very clever.
You can
Wells
find
plural or Wells
whatever the
singular,
platform
like,
is. I'm at Ryan Adam Wells. Although
like
YouTube's doing a weird thing, so I'm supposed to be at Ryan Adam Wells on YouTube because I have it as at Ryan Adam Wells, but for some reason, it doesn't always work. Sometimes you have to type in my other YouTube name, which is Marvel Boy Ryan.
That's also very valid for you, so it's fine.
Yeah,
that's pretty spot on, because not only do you do nerdcore music, you talk like straight up comic lore.
Oh yeah.
In your music and in your live casts. I mean,
everywhere.
Last time you were on my show, we talked full on Star Wars for the entire episode.
Yes, we did.
Ranking the Star Wars movies from least to best.
Yeah, I'm a big, yeah. And I always shock people with my Star Wars ranking because I'm a Last Jedi stan.
Last Jedi is like fucking like Ryan Johnson's a fucking genius.
He's
so
a genius.
I'm on board. Yeah,
it's my favorite of all the Star Wars. I love it.
Of the outside of the original trilogy, I would give you that. So
I think that's totally fair. But I recognize that you ranking it above the original trilogy is a little crazy, but I just love it a whole lot. So that's. Empire though. I like as far as
my memory. If my memory serves me correctly, Rogue One is still your favorite.
Who? Me? No.
Yeah, isn't that right? Or what, am I wrong?
No, it's Last Jedi. Last Jedi. I give so much mad respect for.
Because Rogue One is still my favorite. I thought we agreed on that.
I love Rogue One.
I like Rogue One. You're wrong. It's fine. It's okay.
No, it's No, they're all good for like. There's at least aspects of all of the Star Wars movies that are great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, maybe with the entire movie, but there's still aspects of every movie that is great. So, no, I'm on board. Like, fucking Rian Johnson is one of my favorite directors.
I
Like,
can't wait
I've
for
loved
the
him
next
forever.
one.
So,
I can't wait for the next trilogy. It's gonna be awesome.
I could watch.
no, Knives Out. Yeah, the Knives Out sequel. Fucking like Netflix is on board with that shit. I'm so on board for that.
I can literally watch a million movies of Benoit Blanc just doing.
Oh fucking yes.
I could watch it forever. And Knives Out is. I watched Knives Out. I saw Knives Out 4 times in the theaters, and then I've seen it like 2 or 3 outside.
I had no idea.
I saw it twice in the theater, then I bought it digitally so I can watch it whenever I want. So guess what I'm doing? Instead of sleeping before my move tomorrow, I'll fucking watch these slides.
We watched it
Thanks,
early in
Ryan.
the pandemic on whatever streaming service it was on, and like the whole family, like my kids, my wife, we were all just entranced. And my boys, like, they do not shut up during movies. They do not shut up. They are the worst. They were
I would not be able to watch
during this entire thing. It was amazing.
That's wild.
Yeah, no, and which is cool because it's like a thinking movie. It's not just like an action movie. Like they can watch Clone Wars.
It's really good.
You know, like
actually,
Bug-Eyed,
the guy who directs that movie also watched that. Then watch an early movie he did called Brick.
I need to watch Brick. I haven't made it yet.
It's so good. Like it's fucking film noir set in a high school. That's really the easiest way to describe it. Sorry, I love film noir, which is why I got on board for it. So
yeah, it's been on my list for a while. I need to get to it.
So yeah, it's so eventually me and Ryan are going to chat online at some point about dumb movie stuff. It's got a page and hold that shit. So but Joe, I know you want to do an after hours show, so we want to go long or like an afters. So
well, see, I had hang on, time out. I had this idea. I'm running this show. We can run this as long as I fucking want.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I did have this idea to do a show for movies that were old movies to see if they held up to the test of time and do stuff like Dirty Harry or Twister or
Twister doesn't hold up.
Natural Born Killers or stuff like that, like old movies from the 90s. Oh my God, they're 40 years old. And see if they still hold up to the test of time, if they're still worth a shit. But like Dirty Harry now, like he's the bad guy in that movie.
It's still good.
It's come off real poor now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that would be and Natural Born Killers would be really awkward. Like,
no, it's one of those weird sort of movies that I go. It's still like thematically speaking, it's still going to be great to watch. But yeah, subject matter, you're going to go. It's kind of cringeworthy and a lot of stuff too for today's climate. But if you detach yourself from today, it still holds up in a lot of ways too, because it's like the like America's obsession with media and being famous while doing dumb shit. That still holds true.
I mean, Logan Paul is still famous.
Thanks for stopping by, DK. Good to see you. Thanks, Savvy.
Yeah, DK. Yeah, everybody's gonna bounce. That's fair.
Yeah, everybody's gonna run. Okay, so what we'll do is we will shut down this. Ryan, thank you so much for coming in.
It was my pleasure.
21090, thank you for coming in. Tanya, thank you for coming in. Jeff, of course, thank you for filling in for me last week and for being a guest so many times on the show. You're amazing. I love you. Good luck in Coney Island and on your trip. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. It's gonna be
fun tomorrow. So
a fun weekend. Who else was here? Micah, Lone Star, Raptor, and Slade, and my lovely wife who made an appearance, who is not here on my left right now. She is actually in bed, but I'm
everybody make sure you follow the Whiskey Brothers on Twitch. Their shit on right now it's fire. I watch it all the time. It's really good. So
yeah, their discovery of online digital media has made a kind of a renaissance in their podcast. it's kind of lit a fire under them. It's kind of cool because it's a whole new medium for them, and it's really neat how they're engaging with it. And speaking of which, Ryan, you embraced this online media, performing to a digital audience like a fucking boss.
Thank you.
March of last
year. doing
was
the
a big
5
shift.
o'clock happy hour on the Cabin Fever live stream. You killed it, dude. You've done
Thank
a
you.
fantastic job for the last year.
It gave me
bravo.
a lot of anxiety at first. It took a while. It took a while to get comfortable.
Yeah, it's tough to make the transition. Yeah, I get that.
It feels weird. It feels like you're singing to no one. But then once people start like really commenting and stuff, that I mean, the comments is what helps. The comments is what makes it work.
Yeah.
People
It's,
talk
it's,
about
a, it's, it's a transition from an audience that's watching to an audience that's actively participating. Because when you're performing in front of an audience, you don't want them talking. But when you're performing in front of a digital audience, you absolutely want them talking.
The crazy phenomenon that I noticed that I never would have ever known was a thing if it wasn't for Twitch, which this is the only bad thing about it, is there's a thing that happens in my brain, probably because of my ADHD, where I will on occasion sing a lyric that is not the lyric to my song, but is the word I read in the chat.
That's hilarious.
It's happened a bunch on the 5 o'clock shadow, and I try to play it off whenever I feel it happening. When I feel my tongue start to make the wrong word, I try to just like swallow it instead, or like not say anything, or try to.
No, it's as somebody who's watched a lot of your episodes of 5 o'clock shadow, because I'm like we're friends, but I'm also a fan. That's why I support. That's how it works.
Well, I appreciate it.
And so no, it's if you do it, it's very much in that it's almost like it at least watching it plays off like you're playing to the audience. So like if you happen to do that mix up, whether it's intentional or not, I don't know. Like you're going, hey, you want to go to Keto Wolf me again? I don't know, whatever. I just like that's an example. I know she's done. She's already left the chat, but it's like that sort of thing. I go. It plays very well. So.
That's good. That's good to hear. That's great.
It's a really cool part of the live online shows that you don't get in real life, because people in real life sit there and they clap and they watch and they listen. But in digital world, they speak and talk and comment during the show, and you get to see what they're thinking.
It's a lot more interactive.
And when that stuff
really
comes
weird.
and good. You play it off and nobody knows. And it's kind of fun, and I like it. It's cool. You've owned the shit like a boss. You've done a fantastic job over the course of the
Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
And I appreciate the times you come on the show and the times you perform for us. You have made the transition to a pandemic artist masterfully, and I look forward to your future EPs and LPs as they come out.
Me too.
Oh yeah, so make sure to follow him on all the social medias at Ryan Adam Wells, including Twitch, where he does the 5 o'clock shadow. Hopefully soon again.
Yes.
Yeah. And Spotify.
And then the new EP will be out within the next 3 months. And it's being
so
right now.
All right, so Ryan, whenever that's done, let's talk. We'll talk online about stuff, because that way, I like talking about that shit. Like for my shows. Shameless plug, Carney's show, things like the G-Spot, because I'm a whore about this shit. Bring it on. We'll talk about that sort of stuff, especially when the EP drops, because, I'm always happy to help promote.
And I will need it.
So good and damn well I got a stage waiting for you.
Yeah. Well, now the band's back together, so I'll be letting you know when we're ready to be doing some.
I heard him in the background.
This July 3rd gig will be our trial by fire, because it's our first gig in over year and a half, like maybe almost 2 years for us. So.
Dig it.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I remember. I think because you guys played the last time right after I left, I think. So.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. So we're trying it again. So we'll see what happens.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I got.
Thanks for having me. I'm gonna run, but
I
appreciate you
guys. I got
guys.
this thing in the mail, and I will talk about it in the after show. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it. Good night. Cheers. I hope you are well and do well in the next chapter of your life, brother.
Cheers, boys.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's right, because you're coming to Darwin's. All right.
Goddamn right. I'm going home, so I got to come home for a minute. So yeah.
Yeah, you're migrating back to the ancestral homeland of weirdos and carnies.
No, it's fact is because Darwin's was home for such a long time in Houston, so I got to go back at least for a bit.
the Houston home for weirdos and carnies, but
It is
migrating your
kinda,
way back
although
to New York.
although a weird sort of thing is I have to like there is like the reason I go to like I went to Darwin's was because of our good friend Tifa Tiddlywinks, but she doesn't work there anymore.
No, she
But
doesn't.
she works down the street, and so I have to go
Right.
visit her too.
And she does have an invitation for next week's show. I reached out to her to see if I could get her for 15 minutes for next week's show because she was my fill-in for the July 23rd show, 2020, when I was hoping Aubrey Plaza or
Oh
I
yeah,
can't remember if it was Aubrey Plaza or
that sounds like Aubrey Plaza time period.
well,
so, yeah.
she was coming in for the Aubrey Plaza show. Aubrey didn't show up. Tifa showed up in the pinch. There was also the Kevin Bacon show.
Yeah, I remember Kevin Bacon was a little bit later because you tried Aubrey first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kevin Bacon was the July show. Aubrey may have been June, but
Yeah, I
Tifa
remember
showed up
all
in
this.
replacement of the Aubrey show. And Tifa is just an amazing talent. She's so much fun.
It's one of my favorite people, one of my great friends.
I mean, she put together the Cabin Fever live stream.
She did, which is why I'm always like I've been like thankful for her. So, but I also know that she's actually working the same night when I'm coming to visit Houston. So
True.
I have to run by Hungry Like a Wolf at some point.
In
I had to
fact,
go say hi. So
I'm going to rummage down here in my batch of mementos. That
sure.
I have
So everybody's coming to come hang out with me. Please do so. I'll be at Darwin's Pub there in
There it
Houston
is.
tomorrow, which is Friday, to do stuff. Oh, there you go.
FIFA
But
introduced
if you don't
me to
see,
Splice Records,
oh, that's true. Yeah, fucking Sean Brennan. So yeah,
which
I
is
think
an
between me and Tifa, we were to like basically like because we both knew Sean for a minute, and like Sean was looking for something, so I think both me and Tifa almost literally at the same time messaged you about talking to Sean. I'm pretty sure it's what happened.
It was this nexus at Darwin's where
It's fucking Darwin's.
I
It's
meet
magical.
Slade. I go to Slade through the Whiskey Brothers, and Slade sent me to Darwin's where I met you and I met Tifa, and y'all sent me to Splice Records, and Splice Records sent me over to hook me up with the River Revival, and Slade introduced me to Tanya, and through you and Tifa, I got into the Twitch and to YouTube, and through the YouTube, I went to Micah and 210 and Keeping It Neat and Raptor and all these other guys, and it was just like this beautiful like nexus of significant points that I've been able to bring together on this 100th episode, and it has been
No,
just
it's
beautiful and amazing.
I really think like one congratulations. I said that earlier, but I'm gonna say it again. That 100 episodes, like 100 episodes. But I was like yeah, I thought about it. I go, I didn't do 100 episodes, but for a while you were doing like multiple episodes a week specifically.
I did 2 a week for until December, and then
so like me,
went back to one.
me like I do multiple types of shows. I probably technically have done over 100 shows.
You've done well over 100, yeah.
But like my effect is like I know like I'm like at 64, 65 of like the Devil's Hour proper because that's what I started with, and I've got like 34 episodes of like the G Spot.
This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap up this. This is our 100th episode. We've gone 3 hours. We've had a panel of 8 guests. We've had dozens of scores of viewers.
They're amazing.
Time. We had a musical guest. Ryan Adam was amazing. We're going to wrap this up. I'm going to let this happy hour end after 3 hours, and then we're going to go to the after party in about 10 minutes. So if you're on the YouTubes, you'll see the channel pop up. Jeff, I'll send out the invitation to you. You're welcome to join me. We'll talk about all the shit and the retrospective stuff. And I'll give you a story of where I came up with the signature cocktail of our Slippin' Insider.
If only I knew how that worked out. That'd be fair.
It was every cocktail we have has a story, and that's the best part about whiskeys and cocktails is that the drinks are good, but the stories are better. And that's the best part about it when you have a happy hour and you have friends and everybody comes together. It's the stories that make the drinks special. The drinks are fine,
true.
but the
It's
stories
true.
make the drinks special, and the
Also
stories
true.
make the drinks better always. So, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages, thank you for joining us for the 100th episode, the 100th and final episode of the Old Humble Quarantine Cocktail Happy Hour. Join us next week for the 99th episode, which makes sense if you don't think about it very hard, where we
long
will
as
be
you're
giving
drunk,
away
it's
this
fine.
particular bottle of whiskey. But what is it? What could this bottle of whiskey be? If you've been paying attention, you know what it is. Spoiler
It's
alert,
whiskey.
it's special reserve whiskey, and it's not finished yet. There's more that I am going to do to that particular bottle, and you will see it next week. The way to get that bottle is you get into comments, and your name will be joined onto the Wheel of Fate, and we will spin the Wheel of Fate, and you will win the bottle if your name comes up.
Next Thursday. So
Does
yes.
that sound mysterious the way I said that?
Yeah, it's a week from today, so I will hopefully be in the chat to be in the running for this cool bottle. So you should too.
Wow.
I'm
over here eating Gruyere cheese because I'm a cheeseophile. Is there a word for cheesophiles? Anyway.
I'm sure there is. It's probably French.
Yeah, something like that. A fromageophile. That sounds.
There you go. All right, cool. Let's do the afters.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the after party. Cue the closing segment or closing screen, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for the 100th episode, being a part of this epic, historic moment. Cheers. Be awesome. Drink humble. Good night.